razor, while others need a Gillette anti-chafe stick. Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get, down there. Buy now.
Smokin' Joe Lasher here. This Thursday is our live music series finale at Twin Willows in Mars Hill. Commodore Fox takes the stage at 6, and I'll be cooking up delicious dishes from 4 to 8. Live music, food, and fun this Thursday at Twin Willows.
If you or a loved one have been a victim of crime, the North Carolina Department of Public Safety Office of Victim Compensation Services provides programs to help you find peace of mind. We're here to help you apply for benefits that you may qualify for to recover from hardships such as lost wages and medical expenses. To learn more, visit ncdps.gov/4victims. That's ncdps.gov/4victims.
Hi, I'm Chad Greenway. After retiring from the NFL, I've embraced my new role coaching my kids in their youth sports. Our Youth Basketball Association made the decision to use trusted coaches to train, screen, and educate all of our basketball coaches. Visit trustedcoaches.org to learn more. I'm a trusted coach. Are you?
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, GRAND. That's GRAND. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com.
The pounding begins. The wagons are circled. Every wind is raidered. It's football time in America, and this republic has never been stronger. The Sportsocracy, Beer City's best sports talk, live from the Ingalls studio.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app, and we are seen everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link, subscribe to the channel, join us in the chat. It is a Threadbare Thursday, so subscribing to the channel, all that more important today, because if you're not subscribed, you can't tell us what you want to talk about.
And it's another day that we haven't been canceled. Trust me,
yes.
It shocks us too.
It's another wonderful day in the neighborhood as the NFL week kicks off with my Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Fire them cannons, by golly, put more powder in them things.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Buffalo Bills tonight on Thursday Night Football. We'll give you our breakdown of it. And, well, I'll be honest with you, I've already heard a take in this studio today that I didn't expect I was going to hear. So we'll get to that coming up later on in the program.
You know, that's what we do around here. It's nothing but spicy takes and jokes, people. That's what we do.
Yep.
Not going to get anything vanilla coming out of this show.
Get your comments in. Topics of the day on a Threadbare Thursday. Jeremy will have all his bangers for the night because you got, is it still Coosa games tonight?
No, we have an ACC game. Virginia Tech, Syracuse, battling to stay in contention for that spot in the ACC championship game, which is basically just which lamb is going to get slaughtered in Charlotte by my Florida State Seminoles. Do you still hear the screaming, Clarice?
We got a lot of football to get into, not only today, but also tomorrow on a Football Friday. And we'll be preparing all of our picks for the weekend. And I'm curious if, Jeremy, are you ready? Are you ready for your boy's moment?
For what? For the prophecy to be fulfilled? I've already said it on the Instaface and the Insecuregram and all those things. Yeah, the prophecy has been fulfilled.
It's time.
Now, here's what I didn't know when I recorded that. I didn't know that Brock Purdy got hurt on a touche-pouche. I say this with no glee that the young man got hurt. I tried to tell you that was coming. And so, touche-pouche, you're on the clock.
Mm-hmm.
Because now you got a starting quarterback for a legit Super Bowl contender that's going to miss a game. And, yes, he's going to miss the game because of that play. I get that it's a quarterback sneak.
Mm-hmm.
That was what I was trying to say the whole time, is that now you've put a play that never made a ton of sense in the first place under the microscope. And when somebody gets hurt, it will not be the first time. But Brock Purdy got hurt because a linebacker decided to go, Yo-Magoya, right over the line of scrimmage. And surprise, surprise, somebody got hurt.
Uh-huh.
Now, it is one shining moment for my guy, Sam Darnold.
Yeah, it's time for Sam Darnold to live up to the Jeremy Green hype and see if there is no drop-off here, or, in fact, is there a step up
now,
for the San Francisco offense?
I will say, I'm learning things about social media every day, and one of them is that a lot of people on the social medias, they don't understand sarcasm. So let me try to explain this Sam Darnold thing. I don't think there's a drop-off in this system because Sam is markedly more talented. So Sam is going to be able to make high-level throws that Brock doesn't. Now, there's flip side of that.
Mm-hmm.
He also trusts his arm too much, and he might throw 2 or 3 interceptions. That's always been his problem. It was his problem with the Jets. It was his problem with the Panthers. The question is, which version of Sam do you get? I can't answer that. I can tell you what I think you're going to see. I don't think there's a drop-off at all. The line moved a lot, which doesn't really make any sense.
It's going to drop. The line's going to move when you lose a starting quarterback, won't it?
Well, in theory, here's the problem with the line movement I saw, which is when we put out the reel yesterday. So, according to Vegas, I get the Vegas power rankings every single week. It tells me the number that Vegas puts on each quarterback. Vegas only sees Brock Purdy worth 2 points, 2.5 on the high side.
Mm-hmm.
So if that number dropped 2.5 points, that means you think Sam Darnold is a net zero. That's just not accurate. It's also not what Vegas had with Sam Darnold when he was in Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
It's closer to what they had when he was in New York, but that team was awful anyway. So I just feel like this is a gambler's trap. The line's going to move. It shouldn't move. Then you catch the fact that they lost on Monday Night Football. We all saw it. And now the money is going to be significantly on Cincinnati, and I don't think it should be.
The question I have is Sam Darnold, is he a piece that can be the cog in the wheel here, right? Like Brock Purdy has been so successful because he gets the rhythm of the offense, right? He gets the ball out quickly. He sees things. He diagnoses things really quickly.
Well, the Kyle Shanahan offense, in theory, and this was the argument I made in the offseason when they signed him, is that this is the first time he's gotten a legit chance. All right, I mean, be honest. I'm a lifelong Jet fan. Joe Montana could have been throwing to Jerry Rice, and as long as Adam Gase was the one calling the plays, none of it mattered.
Mm-hmm.
But he was good with Peyton in Denver. Yeah, there were a lot of other elements at play there. So the first handful of years he played in this league, you throw that baby out with the bathwater. I don't care if it had been Josh Allen. I don't care if it had been Lamar Jackson. None of them were going to look impressive with the way that team was built. Now, you fast forward to Carolina last year.
Mm-hmm.
There were times, last year and the year before, there were times that Sam looked like a competent starting-level NFL quarterback with Matt Rule as his head coach and Scott Turner calling plays. Do I think he's going to be able to do what Kyle Shanahan tells him to do? Yeah, I do. I was being hyperbolic saying he was going to replace Brock Purdy. I was making fun of myself. It's called sarcasm. Know why that's so hard for some people to pick up, but apparently it is. I think they'll be fine. Purdy will be back in a week, and this is a chance for Sam to really show, hey, if the same thing happens this year that happened last year, and Brock gets legit hurt, not, hey, he's in concussion protocol for a week, I can come in here and hold down the fort.
Okay.
And I have no doubt that's what he's going to do. I can't tell you they're going to beat Cincinnati. I couldn't tell you they were going to beat Cincinnati with Brock Purdy. This doesn't change my opinion in any way.
Mm-hmm. You would have had Cincinnati anyway, right?
I probably would have.
You would have. You would have. And I do, because I do, and I think I got a pretty good track of where you're going to go most times. Tonight was not one of them, and we'll get to that coming up.
Stop throwing out spoilers, Kirby.
These are called teases.
Well, it's not a tease when you make it that obvious. You just went Mystery Science Theater and went, hey, in the next segment, she's going to die. Okay, well, I think I know what's coming, but I need to see how it happens.
Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, I got Cincinnati. You got Cincinnati. This doesn't change anything. I was actually half expecting you to come in today with this is where it turns. This is where Sam Darnold takes over for Brock Purdy. I'm glad you're a little level-headed about this.
I can't say that. What I can say is that I do see a less than zero chance that Sam Darnold comes out and looks really impressive. And the highest of Brock Purdy detractors go, well, okay, hear me out. All right. This kid was the number 3 pick in the draft. He is talented. I'm not going to do that, but if you get a couple more games like Brock Purdy just had against Minnesota at the end, I could see where that argument would have some credence. I've also heard that, all of both those interceptions happened after he got his bell rung.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot say you're wrong there. And if that's the case, then, okay, maybe I look at that a little differently. Now, unless he got his bell rung last week, that doesn't change what happened against Cleveland. But I just, this doesn't mean as much.
Okay. The job's not on the line, though. Or is it? Because that was honestly what I was expecting to hear today.
This can be the first step of an ultimate 3-step process that leads to.
I love that. That's the best explanation I've heard of this all day. Yeah, I mean, it could be a first step, but things have to go super sideways.
Let me tell you how it happens.
Uh-huh.
I'll tell you exactly how this happens.
Okay.
You're going to miss Deebo Samuel for a couple weeks. They have a bye after this week.
Mm-hmm.
So you play Cincinnati, they go into the bye, then you go to Jacksonville, you play the Bucs, at the Seahawks, at the Eagles. If Brock Purdy comes out and just drops a big grumper against the Jaguars and Buccaneers, and Sam Darnold goes in and beats the Bengals, yeah, there's going to be somebody out there going, oink, oink. So Darnold playing well on Sunday is step 1. Step 2 is you get a couple games from Brock Purdy where you go, maybe that big ginger's right, and when the NFL got tape on a guy, all of a sudden he was not as effective as he had been in the past. It happens to everybody. That's not a slight. And then he goes down again, or whatever the case may be, and Darnold gets back in there and doesn't relinquish the job.
No.
There's a better than zero chance that happens.
I believe there are positives and negatives to the fact that Sam Darnold is going to be starting for this team on Sunday. I'm not ruling out the possibility that it's going to be just fine and San Francisco can get that win. I highly doubt it. I highly doubt that Sam Darnold is going to come in here and we're just going to go, this is fine.
Well, it's because much like the Raiders, you're a Sam Darnold hater. You're a hater of all things.
I like to consider myself a realist.
Sam Darnold is my ginger brother. And InstaFace told me that we stick together, although I'm only got face hair. Head hair is brown.
Sam Darnold has never really shown us he's good. There was that 4-game stretch with the Carolina Panthers.
Greatest stretch in the history of Carolina Panthers quarterbacks.
Yes, I understand. That 4-game stretch, then he got hurt, and then just nothing. Like, lost your job to Baker Mayfield. I mean, to me, there it goes.
Right back to you.
Yeah, to me, that's where you go. Baker Mayfield. You lost your job to Baker Mayfield.
Until it came right back to you, and they cut him.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you're undervaluing just how dumb Matt Rule was. That's top 5 worst coaches we've had in the NFL in the last 25 years.
Sure.
I mean, I'm not going back to the Lou Holtz Jet days because that was special. By the way, I conspired this yesterday as I was driving home.
Mm-hmm.
I want to play a fun segment at some point where we ask the chat for a topic and I answer it in a slew of different voices that I do. If it's a sports voice, it has to be a non-sports topic.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a non-sports voice, it has to be a sports topic.
Okay.
Listen to Christopher Walken talking about what's going to happen with Sam Darnold. No, coming my guy all wrong.
That could be funny.
Could be a contender.
Stephen Tao says step 4, Darnold returns to the Jets next year to sit behind Rodgers and eventually become the starter of the future.
No, it's Zach Wilson. We've already figured that out.
Yeah. He's got a lot more to do before you should feel good about that.
Of course he does.
Yes. Oh, that was that whole sarcasm thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll all get.
If I say it with a smile on my face, you should probably assume I didn't mean what I just said.
Sam Darnold going to start for the San Francisco 49ers against the Cincinnati Bengals. It should be quite interesting.
There's a better than zero chance that I start Sam Darnold at DFS this week. He's
the price
super cheap.
I was going to say the price can't be very high.
And, I mean, this could be a reunited. It feels so good. Wouldn't that be the most ironic thing ever? Jeremy wins the million with Sam Darnold playing quarterback, and every one of you would go, he deserves that. Good for him. He deserved that. Nobody has believed in Sam more than that doesn't have the last name Darnold than that guy.
No doubt.
Me and Colin Cowherd were the only two believers still left out there. We have a meeting at a Marriott Express.
Yeah. Steven also did earn some brownie points when he said earlier in the chat that the same guy who says Trevor Lawrence is a bust believes in Sam Darnold.
I'm done with I'm done with you not listening to what I said.
I'm done with that. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Asheville Championship returns to Harrah's Cherokee Center in Asheville November 10th and 12th. This year's field is the best yet. The Clemson Tigers, Maryland Terrapins, Davidson Wildcats, and the Blazers of UAB. 4 exciting matchups with a champion to be crowned in one of the premier early season tournaments in college basketball. For more information and to get your tickets, go to AshevilleChampionship.com. That's AshevilleChampionship.com. It all starts in Asheville November 10th and 12th. Proudly sponsored by Ingalls Markets.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
If you like using debit over credit, shouldn't you also get rewarded? Well, now you can with Discover Cashback Debit. It's a checking account that rewards everyone with cash back on everyday purchases with no fees, period. Check out eligibility and terms at discover.com/cashbackdebit. Discover Bank, member FDIC.
Some intimate parts need the gentle, easy trim of a Gillette trimmer. And some need the closeness and comfort of a Gillette Intimate razor. While others need a Gillette Anti-Chafe Stick. Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get, down there. Buy now.
AutoStar family dealerships need your car today, and you can get cash today for a clean, late model vehicle. Listen, AutoStar is always paying more than the big box retailers, and they're paying it now. Deal with a real, local, trustworthy live person and get paid top dollar for your vehicle the day you arrive. Ain't no waiting weeks to get your check from AutoStar. Sell your car online right now at AutoStarUSA.com.
Buy your next car from an AutoStar.
Vehicle must have a title in hand, same 85 is 24 hours from valid seller's agreement. Checks will be issued for vehicles in equity only.
You know when you wake up and your mouth feels gross and you just can't wait to brush your teeth to get that clean, fresh feeling again? That's exactly how millions of Navage users feel when they use powered suction to rinse out their noses every day, just like brushing their teeth. Once you're able to breathe deeply without congestion, you never want to be without it. That's why so many people rave about Navage, with over 100,000 online reviews. Feel the Navage difference for yourself. In less than a minute a day, you'll feel immediate relief from seasonal allergies and congestion after the very first use. Navage will also help you sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier, naturally, without drugs. Start breathing clearly again with Navage. Navage is available at Walmart, Walgreens, Target, CVS, Rite Aid, and online at Navage.com. Navage. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
The Sportsocracy.
Hello, everybody. This is good old JR Jim Ross, WWE Hall of Famer. Boy, these boys are smart. You talk about goofier than a pet coon. Let me tell you something. This show is a legitimate slobber knocker.
We're back in the Ingles studio on ESPN Asheville. It's okay, Jeremy. I mean, you're the same guy that said Justin Jefferson needed to be scraping gum off of park benches. So
all these people on the interwebs, they can talk all the smack they want to with no repercussions. I'm between you and the door.
Excuse me, and Steven's right. It was almost bust
compared to the expectations.
Sam Darnold starting for the San Francisco 49ers this weekend. Does that give you any pause, or does it make you like anybody better for fantasy this weekend?
Probably like Kittle a little better, Ayuk a little worse.
Does he lean on tight ends more?
He's always, in terms of QBR, he has a higher rating throwing to tight ends than he does to receivers, especially if you take out Robbie Anderson. I'm not calling him that other name.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the only chosen thing he's ever been is on waivers. Robbie chosen on waivers.
How long have you been holding on to that one? A couple weeks?
It's been a minute. Yeah.
At least a couple weeks on that one. Okay. I like it. Jonah had a fantasy question here. Since it is a Threadbare Thursday, you can get in all your fantasy questions or any topics that you want discussed. Throw it into the chat on the YouTubes. It says, good afternoon. Afternoon, Jonah. Who should I choose between Pickens, Sutton, and Hopkins this week? Two of them is who they need.
Well, it's not going to be DeAndre Hopkins.
Bingo! Problem solved.
He's being thrown to by Will Levis.
Yay.
Who I still like, but it's a daunting ask with the first start. So if you need two, it's the other two. If you need one, I'll go George Pickens. I don't trust anything Denver Bronco.
Okay. All right. But can he pick it? Well, yeah, still more than Denver Broncos. Okay. I get what you're laying down there.
I trust gas station sushi more than I trust anything that has a little horsey on its helmet.
Notorious B.I.G. says, can we talk about teams with losing or tied records that might still have a chance?
We definitely can.
Okay. Well,
there's not a ton of teams that have losing records.
I mean, one of them will play tonight. Let's be honest.
That has a chance
to win the division, I guess. I mean, you have to.
I love that Vegas is telling you how bad this team is, and you're not listening.
With the
you're a 9.5 point dog.
Yeah, 9.5.
That's usually reserved for the Carolina Panthers, Denver Broncos, New York Giants of the world.
I don't know. I just don't see it. I really don't see it. But no, I mean that, my friends, was sarcasm. My team's not one that has a shot.
I mean, a team with a losing record, the only one I see would be the Rams and the Saints, maybe the Vikings, because they're in the they're in the NFC.
Mm-hmm.
There's not one with a losing record in the AFC that has a chance, because that's the Raiders, the Chargers, the Broncos, the Titans, the Colts, and the Patriots. If I had to pick one in the AFC, it'd be the Colts.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, a real stretch, because their schedule is not all that tough. And I have seen enough from the offense, because I think Shane Steichen's doing a really good job.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is that I don't think you're going to come up against many teams that can't score with you in the AFC. And I'm not sure you can stop them any more than they can stop you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, 500 teams, all of them
have a chance.
I don't see one at 500 that doesn't have a chance outside of your Bucs.
Yeah. Thanks for that. Thanks for throwing that in my face. I mean, the Houston Texans.
The Houston Texans could make the playoffs. If the C.J. Stroud thing keeps – I mean, I'm just telling you, look at that schedule and just go, huh.
Mm-hmm.
How many teams against absolute awful teams can you play, and how many of those are you going to lose? Because I don't think it's that many.
Right. And then you got the New York Jets and the Cincinnati Bengals.
Those two obviously have a chance.
Clearly.
Anytime your offense is as good as Cincinnati's and your defense is as good as the Jets, then you still have a chance.
Mm-hmm. I don't think we have the come from behind story this year. If we do have one, it's going to be the Cincinnati Bengals, and it was only the first 3 games of the season.
Well, I mean, there's not that many headstones right now in the NFL cemetery. I mean, I think there's a team in every division that we can look at and go, well, this is not going to happen for you this year.
Almost every division. There's not one of those in the North. You can't put a tombstone on anybody in the AFC North. But other than that, I would agree with you. Because the Carolina Panthers, Arizona Cardinals, Chicago Bears,
Green Bay Packers. All right, we took one from the NFC. We took the AFC North selection and gave it to the NFC North.
Well, I feel like you can go to New York Giants and the Washington Commanders.
You can't do the Commanders.
Okay.
Look, if they figured out how to protect Sam Howell,
but they're not gonna.
I'm well aware of that.
But they're not gonna.
I'm just saying there's a caveat.
He's gonna keep getting hit every 2 seconds.
All right, well, we'll just look at the other side of that. All right, so the teams that we said put headstones on, unless Jordan Love gains the ability to fly, which they don't just hand those out, I don't see a path that you're going to be any better than 6-11. I see a path that Washington could be. How you're going to do it, I have no idea. That's not my job. My job is to come on the radio and make jokes about how unbelievably bad you have been.
But I'm looking at this at more realistically speaking. I'm not talking mathematically speaking. Sure, mathematically speaking, many things are possible. However, I don't believe that is the case for the Washington Commanders. But Denver Broncos, yes. Tennessee Titans, You can't go Indianapolis Colts.
No, I can go
Tennessee
Tennessee
got the New England
Titans.
Patriots. So, yeah, there's one in almost every division. And the AFC North, the NFC North stole the one from the AFC North. Because everybody's still in the thick of things. Which is really how it should be. 7 games in, we should not be more divided than this, I don't think. There needs to be a meaty portion. And shocker of shockers, I feel like the 4-2 Pittsburgh Steelers are right in the thick of that. Why do I still look at that team as I don't see it? And now, obviously, Cleveland's doing all that they can to give them, because that was the one division that we looked at the beginning of the season and went, I don't know. Who's going to win that thing? And who could be the last? I think we have a board bet, actually, on who's going to be the last team in that division. I think I took the Steelers, and you took the Browns.
I was higher on the Browns, so I would.
Okay, then maybe I took the Browns, and you took the Steelers.
I think I took the Ravens, which really looks stupid now. If that's I can't believe I would have taken the Browns because I was really high on them, and I still am to a point. I don't like the fact that every quarterback not named Deshaun Watson.
You took the Ravens.
That's what I thought.
Can we go ahead and mark that one for me?
No.
That'll be the third one that we've already marked for me. You're behind.
No.
On the tattoo bet here, bro.
It's fine.
Just want to let you know.
What we've learned with Tank, you start fast, you finish fast too. It's long been a problem in your life.
I told her to shut. Never mind. I'm going to have a discussion when we get home.
We have a West Virginia Willie asked in the YouTube comments, is this Derrick Henry to Baltimore rumor real? The rumor is real. Is it going to get done? I have absolutely no idea.
They need to do something, right? You need to go out and get Derrick Henry. You need to go out and get Saquon Barkley. I don't even know if you can convince them to give up on him, or not necessarily give up on him, but get something out of him while you can. but I would 100% be looking for a feature back. And I don't care if he's 32 years old, however the hell old Derrick Henry is.
Can I give the 400th reason that the internet makes my head hurt?
Yeah.
So Willie asked that question. Stephen Tower, a resident Baltimore Ravens fan, said, well, he was spotted at BWI yesterday, so we'll see. No, he wasn't. You know how I know that?
No.
Because he was in the Titans facility yesterday answering questions. So unless he flew to Baltimore on a Mach 1 fighter jet and they immediately flew him back, no, he wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
But I've seen the same picture you have. It's just not true.
Oh, they deep faked it?
I'm
they
not
photoshopped it? Whatever?
I'm not going to say they deep faked it. Virtually every airport looks exactly the same. Hey, look, I got a picture of Derrick Henry at the airport. Which airport was it? I don't remember. But we're going to say it was Baltimore because that substantiates this. And that's what people do on Instagram and on Twitter all the time. And the reason I know that is because he made a really comical joke about Arthur Smith. They asked him about Arthur Smith's mustache, and he said, just let my guy know that his current hairstyle is very questionable.
Questionable?
It's a nice way of saying.
That's beautiful.
It's a nice way of saying, it's a license plate on your panel van so we know if it gets near a school.
Right.
You creepy-looking individual.
Does it matter what it costs, Stephen, and other Baltimore Ravens fans? Do you
If it's
care?
more than a 5, then Baltimore's not doing it.
Okay.
I keep seeing that DraftKings put out a post yesterday that said, who says no? The Ravens give up a 2 and a 5 and Devin DeVerde. And if you go find that post, you can see at ESPN Draft Nerd going, Baltimore says no.
Yes.
Loudly.
Yeah.
As they hang up the phone and block your number.
No, that's crazy talk.
You will have to star 69 them just to get them to answer the phone again if you float that out there.
When I said that, like, do you care what it costs? I thought the cost was going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of, I don't know, conditional 4 that turns into a 3 maybe. If
and now
you win.
now we're in the ballpark.
That's where I thought this was going to go. And I thought that maybe there would be some pushback at that. But I would do it in a heartbeat if I were the Baltimore Ravens.
The NFL trade deadline is the most predictable thing on the planet. You will hear all of these names. You'll hear Derrick Henry. You'll hear Brian Burns. You'll hear all these guys that could have a high-level effect. One of them will get moved. And other than that, it'll be a lot of the Miami Dolphins traded Braxton Berrios to the Carolina Panthers. Does that make you feel anything other than sad for Braxton Berrios?
Oh,
you got traded away from the good team. Now you're that new slot guy that will replace Adam Thielen when Bryce Young gets him killed. Now, that wasn't a shot. You throw 13 targets a game to any 34-year-old wide receiver, and they're going to break eventually.
He's been doing great with them, though.
Mm-hmm.
You got to say that. Adam Thielen has been quite the surprise this year. But anyway, what were we talking about?
I don't know. That's not my job. You say things, and I respond to them. That's how this goes.
I completely forgot my train of thought there because you threw Braxton Berrios at me, and I'm like, did that really just happen?
No, it was sarcasm.
Okay.
Sarcasm's the word of the day, boys and girls.
Okay, so that was not a trade that just happened.
No.
All right. You caught me in a moment while I was reading something else, and I was like, are we really doing this?
Don't try to do two things at one time.
No,
yeah,
I
you got the
shouldn't.
chops for it.
I really shouldn't. It is the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400 when we come back. We'll get just a bit outside.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Probably not records, but we're going to get close here. Today's record's 83. 76 this afternoon, not really close meteorologically, but lots of sunshine around. A few clouds tonight, low near 50. Sunshine tomorrow, 77. How about the weekend? The last weekend in October, more sunshine around. Great for outdoor activities with the highs close to 80 degrees. The change comes by about Halloween of next week. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Get the best new deals when you shop Black Friday every day at Lowe's. Bring home a select DeWalt drill or impact driver or Cobalt 40-volt blower for just $99. Valid through 10/31 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Are you a student ready to embark on your journey towards financial independence? Hey everybody, it's Chris Angel from Mountain Credit Union. Trailhead Student Checking is a high-dividend checking account designed exclusively for students aged 16 to 23. Your path to financial freedom begins at Mountain Credit Union. Start building a solid foundation for your future and enjoy the benefits that come with being a part of the Mountain Credit Union family. Rates subject to change, restrictions apply. Visit mountaincu.org or stop by any of our local branches to learn more. At Mountain Credit Union, we're here for you because we're here with you.
Jim Gaffigan here with some more straight talk. Now you can get a Walmart Plus membership, plus not pay for it, because it's included with Straight Talk wireless plans. You get free delivery with Walmart plus a Paramount Plus subscription included. Plus, you pay less for gas. That's a lot of pluses.
Only Straight Talk gives you unlimited 5G data and Walmart Plus included on select plans for free.
Straight Talk Wireless, available at Walmart.
Requires service on Gold or Platinum Unlimited. One offer per eligible account. Paramount Plus Essential Plan only. Separate registration required. Additional terms apply.
Season 4 just launched. You up for a night of binging?
Yeah, I took Mucinex 12-Hour DM. Its bilayer tablet takes care of my cough and chest congestion for a full 12 hours.
Cool, let's do this.
Buy Mucinex 12-Hour DM now for 12-hour cough and chest congestion relief. Use as directed.
This week in the Buncombe County Game of the Week, we close out the regular season in the Valley as Owen host Madison. These two schools have been getting together for a long time. It's a great rivalry and should be a great game. The Bojangles Countdown to Kickoff show starts at 7 o'clock with a kick at 7:30. On AM 1400, it's West Henderson at Tuscola as the Mountaineers continue to battle for a playoff spot. The Mountaineer pregame show starts at 7. The best coverage in high school football is on News Radio 570, WWNC, and ESPN Asheville.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
It is the Sportsocracy. I am very nervous about what's about to happen.
As well you should be.
It is the Sportsocracy. And we're back in the Ingalls studio.
If those of you that don't know, I handle all the video here. Tank handles all the audio.
Yep.
I just told him in the break that my story is probably not going to end well for his side of the stream, and I didn't tell him anything else.
So we shall see. You can go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link, subscribe to the channel while you're there. Join us in the chat for a Threadbare Thursday. All right, let's get just a bit outside. And the NBA season got underway, 2 nights ago? Last night was the opener for most teams.
All but 4.
All but 4 of them. Okay. Those are the 4 that opened up Wednesday night.
Yes.
Okay, got you. So everybody else was playing last night. The Chicago, congratulations, the Charlotte Hornets they picked up a win before the Carolina Panthers did. So there you go. Congratulations on that one. If you had that on your bingo card, good for you. The Chicago Bulls didn't have a great game, as they ended up in a 20-point loss last night to the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah, Zach LaVine was awful. I apologize. I gave you 2 of the 8 in my lineup last night, and it was the 2 that were awful.
124-104 was the final score, and then I guess this is just has to be the question of, Good sign or bad sign that when Billy Donovan, the head coach of the Chicago Bulls, got back to the locker room, there was already a post-game meeting happening. And they told him no entry. No thank you. Coach, we're going to need you to wait out in the hallway for a while. To which they had a players-only meeting on the opening night of the season. I think that's the fastest in history of having a players-only meeting post-game in the locker room. And there were apparently some vets that were very upset about the lackadaisical play from others on the team. Good sign, bad sign.
First game of the season, you had a players-only meeting?
Yeah.
I'm going to say that leads to 32-50.
Yeah, they're trying to spin this, though, as Vucevic after the game said that nobody was yelling at anybody. We weren't fighting. It was just some things needed to be said, and that has never happened before. Billy Donovan said the exact same thing of these players have never done that before. So I've often chided them because they've never done this. So maybe it's a good sign for the Chicago Bulls that they're getting it out of the way. They're being vocal. They're improving the leadership in the locker room this year. Yeah. You can't really spin this in a good way for me. If your team's in there threatening each other after the game, I don't feel like that was as non-confrontational as Vucevic made it out to be.
And that was hard-hitting journalism. And as I am often prone to do, that's not what you're about to get from me. My story is about the Sam Houston State UTEP game last evening.
Mm-hmm.
I told you that I thought Sam Houston would get their first FBS win, and they missed it by that much.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm going to put a visual aid on the screen, and then I'll explain to you why I have done so. Last night, this was caught on camera that there was a feller that apparently he's a fan of Sam Houston State, and he decided that he was going to go to the stadium in costume. It's Halloween after all. Everybody that you know that's been to a stadium has had to deal with a goober that was sitting next to them that didn't know how to act in public.
Right.
Well, this feller took it to a new extreme because he showed up in a giant inflatable penis costume and had to be escorted out of the building. There is an elderly gentleman that's wearing a UTEP hat. The look on his face as they take this guy out, it's also really funny to watch because they made him take the costume off.
Uh-huh.
So you see him, I mean, and you've worn a Halloween costume before. You know you don't really dress up under the costume.
Mm-hmm.
He's having to carry this behind him as he's going up the stairs, and it is the saddest little walk you'll ever see in your life. Just, oh, shoot. I was being funny. And you got kicked out of a game with an 0-8 college football team.
Yeah. You're going to get kicked out of any stadium if you show up wearing that.
Hey, we let people wear Tom Brady jerseys constantly, and frankly, I saw that the same way. That's exactly what I saw when I saw you. It's just, there we go.
Could you take it down, please? Now it's staring at me, and I don't.
No, I just put it in your frame. That was always how that was going to go.
This is going to be my picture when I have to be on vacation again.
No doubt. Yeah, that was actually the first thing I thought when I saw that.
Wow.
You've had some good ones when you were on vacation. You were a crying baby for a while.
I was.
You were a very fat sunburnt man.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're that.
Yay! It is the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. Thursday night football tonight. Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Buffalo Bills. Well, here we find ourselves with a Buffalo team that if you'd asked me at the beginning of the season how I thought this game was going to go, I would have just given you Maynard. Now I'm not so positive about that. The Buffalo Bills have a good team, but they're super inconsistent and make some dumb moves.
Well, this is the game where, I mean, we've put out a lot of content about Buffalo, and I said I don't think they're going to make the playoffs because the schedule is evil. You just came out of the easy part of your schedule at 4-3. What do you think you're going to come out of the backside with? That being said, they have a tendency to play up to the level of competition that they play.
Mm-hmm.
So they play better against good teams, and that's historically over the last few years. This is the game. If you're the Buffalo Bills, you really need to come out and dump truck the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because they're a bad team that masquerades as a decent one. But I don't have the faith that you're going to do it.
Nor do I.
I don't. And then I saw the number, and 9.5 feels like a lot. 9.5 is a number that in the NFL is usually reserved for a really good team playing a really bad team. I think you have a good team playing a bad team.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reallys here.
Mm-hmm.
This is the biggest number of the weekend. It's tied with the Ravens and the Cardinals. It's half a point more than the Miami Dolphins are getting against the Patriots in Miami. That feels wrong.
Yeah.
It also tells me what Vegas thinks about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they tend to be in pretty much lockstep with me.
Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to think in my head how this game goes down tonight. And I don't think Tampa's going to be able to score a lot of points because that offense is not good.
I don't think anybody's scoring a lot of points. I could easily see this looking like the Giants-Bills game that we saw on Sunday Night Football a few weeks ago, where they won 14-9.
Yep.
And if that happens, I can go ahead and tell you what the opener tomorrow is going to be. If you're Buffalo, you have to blow them out of the water.
Mm-hmm. And I think maybe that's what Vegas is thinking. Like we've had these, right? We've usually had, Josh Allen was bad, and so he has that bounce back week the next week, correct? So we had it, right? We had it with Jacksonville, and we thought it's coming against the Giants. And it didn't happen with the Giants. And then we thought, or at least I did, well, surely it'll be this past game. And you didn't get it again. The question is, when is it going to happen? And is it going to happen tonight? At home, Thursday night football. Weird things tend to happen on a Thursday night. Could this be a blowout? The talent is there. But I don't know that you can – I don't know that they can blow them out.
Well, here's the thing. The Buffalo Bills, I said this earlier in the program. Every week I get the Vegas Power Rankings. I get your spread rating. I get all of these things. The Buffalo Bills would catch 5 points against the most mediocre team in the NFL. All right, so if they played a net neutral team, of which the closest to a net neutral we have is Pittsburgh. If Buffalo played Pittsburgh at home, they'd be a 5-point favorite.
Okay.
Or on a neutral field, they'd be a 5-point favorite.
Okay.
Tampa Bay is right behind Pittsburgh. You swing this the 3 points for them being at home. That still only gets me to 8, and this is 9.5. I feel like this line is daring people to take Buffalo. Because, I mean, you look at that number and go, well, Buffalo has to have this game. They're going to win this by 2 scores. I almost feel like they built the buffer, and it worked. 70+% of the money is on Buffalo. And this has Vegas Trap written all over it. Because there's a possibility that Tampa Bay never looks like they're in the class of Buffalo, and they still cover it.
Mm-hmm. I've kind of felt that way about this team pretty much all year long. Is that, I mean, they'll make it look okay, right? I even felt like they did that against the Philadelphia Eagles. Right, the Eagles dominated that game. There was no question who was going to win it. They ended up losing by, 8, 9?
GG Gambling in our YouTube comments said, how much of the money's on either side? 78% of the tickets are on Buffalo. It's right at 78% of the money. The money's very much in line with the tickets in this game. 96% of the money line's on Buffalo. I'm not taking Tampa in the money line. I don't see a path that they go into Buffalo and win this game. If they do, it is not going to be a fun 10 days to be Josh Allen, Sean McDermott, or anybody that wears a Buffalo Bills uniform.
Mm-hmm.
But I tend to agree with you. When the numbers are all on that side, you tend to go the other way. Public goes right, you go left. And this has big gross fest written all over it. Thursday night games are always weird. Always.
Mm-hmm.
Denver looked like they were competing with Kansas City for 3 quarters. And then what did Kansas City do? They backdoor covered it late. But it wasn't impressive. Buffalo needs to be good. This needs to be Gabe Davis. This needs to be Stephon Diggs. They need to get James Cook involved. Well, Tampa Bay's good against the run. The problem with Buffalo has always been that they get so one-dimensional, and now they're so fixated on Stephon Diggs because under Ken Dorsey, that has been a problem.
Mm-hmm.
This is exactly what Tampa Bay forces you to do anyway.
Yep.
For me, the bigger question is, can Baker Mayfield do anything on the defense?
And I don't think he can do much because I think they're going to be on him all night long. The only good portions of the offensive line for Tampa are the tackles. Right? Tristan Wirfs is a good left tackle.
He's a fine left tackle. He's a good right tackle.
Godecki has been okay on the right side. The middle of that line's been absolutely horrid. Oh, and by the way, Matt Filer, who was the best of the horrid, he's out. He's not playing tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to have a makeshift line on the inside. I don't like that against the Buffalo Bills pass rush. Ed Oliver may not play tonight. I think he's questionable. If he plays, I mean, that adds even more concern for me. Because how do you do that? How do you make up for that in the middle? They're going to be able to get pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Baker's been more mobile, but I don't like him on the move because when he gets on the move, he tries to improvise. Now, he's limited the turnover plays this year. I mean, even turnover-worthy plays, he's only at like 2.5%, top 10 in the league. So he's been decent, but he's also played crappy teams.
Mm-hmm.
I see this as a very close game tonight. I don't like my team's chances.
I don't like
the chances for Buffalo to make the statement that I think we all feel like they need to make.
I don't either. This feels like a gigantic trap, and this is a Buffalo team that is not as well coached. This is a Buffalo team that is not as impressive, and I'm right there with you. This has a feeling of a game that ends up 20-12.
Mm-hmm.
Tampa Bay kicks a field goal late to bring it within one possession. They try the onside kick. They fail. Buffalo runs the clock out. That's how this feels to me.
Yep.
And Baker on the gimpy knee, I do hear that he's going to be able to play tonight. That's what the last I heard.
Mm-hmm.
But he will probably have a brace on that knee. Probably keeps him from running around or anything like that.
No more 31-yard runs.
Yeah, you won't see that, but that keeps him in the pocket. And we get yet another big old Thursday night gross fest.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. Jeremy's got his bangers of the night coming up next. Gave a little bit away there, but what are you going to do?
Hey, we got college games to pick, too.
That's right.
Because we're in the middle of the best time of the year where you have football every single day of the week. Is it always beautiful football? No. No, it's not. But it's football.
Mm-hmm. And any football is better than no football.
And any football is better than watching the first week of the NBA.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. We're back counting down to kickoff. Let's look at today's 3 keys to premium pre-gaming with Beast Unleashed, presented by Monster Brewing. Number 1, beat the heat.
Unleash the beast with bold, familiar flavors, 0 caffeine, and 0 sugar.
Number 2, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from: White Haze, Peach Perfect, Scary Berries, and my personal favorite, Mean Green.
And number 3, at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed, available at your local retailer.
At Ingles, we're proud to sponsor area athletics at all levels. Whether we're building new fields for T-ball, celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. We're here for the fans. No one gets the dedication to the home team like you guys. And we've got all the sports you can handle. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
At Summit Dental, Dr. Reinhardt believes success is defined by the quality of care, not by the number of patients seen each day. That's why Summit Dental welcomes Dr. Tompkins to the practice. Dr. Tompkins is highly trained with a doctorate in dental surgery and rigorous training here in Asheville. He's committed to providing the highest level of care and believes this is best achieved through open communication and compassionate care. Summit Dental is growing and accepting new patients. Check them out online at AshevilleSummitDental.com. That's AshevilleSummitDental.com.
Western Carolina Orthopedic Specialist is a proud sponsor of Tuscola football, and we know your health means everything. So it's important to get the care you need when you're in pain. If you suffer with knee, hip, shoulder, or other joint pain, Western Carolina Orthopedic Specialist can connect you with a healthcare provider who offers treatments and solutions. Don't make your health wait. Visit us at westerncarolinaortho.com or call 828-452-4131. We get you back in motion.
A horrific car accident left Paula with major injuries and surgery after surgery.
I got to the point where I really couldn't walk. I had to resign from work. I was really just laying in bed. It was terrible. I wouldn't go back under the knife.
She missed working and traveling, but all that was about to change. QC Kinetics used natural biologics to treat Paula. No foreign substances. They provided regenerative treatments that helped subside the pain and restore her quality of life.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I was feeling more movement and doing stuff. And then I started crying. I'm like, I can't believe it.
For Paula, this moment was extremely emotional.
I couldn't do nothing. And now I'm working, and I was on my feet for 7.5 hours, and I feel good. I got my life back because of QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics now for your consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
Coffee's the closer's only. Get them the money.
Then when you get the money, you get the power.
That watch costs more than your car.
Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
My favorite picks for Thursday night football. And unlike Coosa Tuesday and Wednesday, these are teams that it's entirely possible you have actually heard of. This is Green on Green, brought to you by Ingles Markets. Low prices of the savings. We start in the college game. Syracuse at Virginia Tech. Hokies, 3-point favorite. Let's face it, Syracuse is doing that thing they do, and they're on the backslide. They're not quite as good as we thought they were early on, and Virginia Tech is low-key coming on. This game's in Blacksburg. You'll hear Enter Sandman. This is a loud place to play, and Virginia Tech's still alive in the ACC. I'm taking the Birds -3. I would say they win this by 10+. Next, Georgia State at Georgia Southern. Here's a little fact. No city in the country consumes more Busch Light than Statesboro, Georgia. And do you know why? Because that's where Georgia Southern University is. And now that's a thing you know. This place will be loud. Georgia Southern has a really quality offensive line. Georgia State doesn't wreak a lot of havoc. I see Georgia Southern winning this and covering pretty convincingly. Give me Georgia Southern -1. And in the NFL, I promise you don't see what I'm getting ready to say coming. Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Buffalo Bills. Tampa Bay's awful. 9 is entirely too many. I have seen the Buffalo Bills play with the New York Giants and the New England Patriots. Are those two teams significantly worse than the Buccaneers? No, but they both would have covered the 9. This is Thursday Night Football on a short week. I do think this is a late backdoor cover, but 9 is too many. Give me Tampa Bay +9. Buffalo wins outright. For more, find us on all the social medias at The Sportsocracy. And as always, love the savings with Ingles. Love the winnings with me. Mull it out.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Probably not records, but we're going to get close here. Today's record's 83. 76 this afternoon, not really close meteorologically, but lots of sunshine around. A few clouds tonight, low near 50. Sunshine tomorrow, 77. How about the weekend? The last weekend in October, more sunshine around. Great for outdoor activities with the highs close to 80 degrees. The change comes by about Halloween of next week. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic.
You know when you wake up and your mouth feels gross and you just can't wait to brush your teeth to get that clean, fresh feeling again? That's exactly how millions of Navage users feel when they use powered suction to rinse out their noses every day, just like brushing their teeth. Once you're able to breathe deeply without congestion, you never want to be without it. That's why so many people rave about Navage, with over 100,000 online reviews. Feel the Navage difference for yourself. In less than a minute a day, you'll feel immediate relief from seasonal allergies and congestion after the very first use. Navage will also help you sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier, naturally, without drugs. Start breathing clearly again with Navage. Navage is available at Walmart, Walgreens, Target, CVS, Rite Aid, and online at Navage.com. Navage. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
It's the Asheville Turkey Trot 5K and Gobble Wobble, Thursday, November 23rd in downtown Asheville. The 23rd running of this great event starts at 9:15 Thanksgiving morning, with the Gobble Wobble 1 mile fun run starting at 8:30. Part of the proceeds benefit Manna Food Bank. Last year, over 2,000 runners helped create 24,000 meals for Manna during the holiday season. So before you hit the buffet, come out and hit the streets. For more information and to get signed up, go to AshevilleTurkeyTrot.com. AshevilleTurkeyTrot.com. Proudly sponsored by iHeart Media, Asheville.
The Gillette Intimate Trimmer gives you a gentle, easy way to trim your pubic region. Or you could try waxing. Nope. From America's #1 trusted men's grooming brand. The best a man can get, down there. Buy Gillette Intimate at a retailer near you.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Dollar. That's dollar. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com. And good luck from your friends at ESPN Asheville.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls studio.
It is the Sportsocracy, and we are live in the Ingalls studio on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. Seen everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com. Click that live video link. Subscribe to the channel. That way you can join us in the chat. It's a Thursday, and it's Tar Heel time with the voice of the North Carolina Tar Heels, Jones Angel Jones. Oh, man. All right, so walk me off the ledge here. 31-27 loss to the Virginia Cavaliers. That came out of nowhere for me.
Yeah, Tank, great to be with you again. Yeah, it was it was not a good performance from Carolina. I think if you wanted to start checking boxes of things that happen when you lose as a heavy favorite, a lot of those boxes are getting checked, right? I mean, it is penalties at bad times. It is drop passes. It is missed opportunities early in the game to get a good, sizable lead. It is bad field position. It's not getting off the field on third down consistently. It's just everything. And I thought all of those things occurred at the same time on Saturday for Carolina. And that's not to take anything away from Virginia. Certainly the Cavaliers made some plays as well. And having said all of that, Tank, Carolina had the ball twice in the last 5 or 6 minutes with an opportunity to go down and score, which would have given them the lead or a really good chance to win the game. They were down 4 with the ball twice in the last 5 or 6 minutes. So I thought Mac Brown made a really good point earlier this week where he kind of laid out some of the other teams that are having terrific years that were in similar situations. You know, Washington had that emotional victory over Oregon and then struggled mightily against Arizona State. Texas and Oklahoma, recently had their Red River rivalry, and then both of them had really sleepy performances against teams that aren't as good as Texas or Oklahoma. But the big difference is all those teams won, and Carolina didn't. And that, to me, ultimately is what it comes down to, is Carolina did not play well, and yet Carolina still had a chance to win and just couldn't find a way to do it. And Tank, you saw something similar in the App game earlier this year, where the Tar Heels had that emotional win over South Carolina the week before, had played really well, came home, not as big an opponent. They weren't as crisp. App did a lot of good things, and yet Carolina found a way. And this time they just couldn't. They just could not find a way, no matter how hard they tried. I think they started pressing a little bit as that game went on. I think that they just did some things that were uncharacteristic, and all of that added up to a disappointing result, certainly on Saturday night.
Yeah, the Mac Brown quotes after the game, the post-game press conferences, his post-game thoughts were, I mean, the way he talked about the Virginia running game, and I mean 221 yards against what had been a good run defense. I mean, I think we were 5th in the ACC coming into that game, and to give up that much on the ground, and for Coach to take it on himself, like, we did not have them prepared for that. Like, where did that come from?
To me, I think the way the two teams approached the ground game in this game was a nice summary of the game. Virginia ran it more than 50 times for more than 200 yards. They came in, I think they averaged it. I think it was below 100 yards a game, and if it wasn't, it was close. Mm-hmm. But what it did, Tank, is Virginia, very patient and very committed to running the ball, because they felt like that gave them the best chance to win the game. It kept the ball out of Carolina's hands. It slowed the game down and milked the clock, if that makes sense. So it made it a little bit of a shorter game and slowed it down, with Virginia, keeping possession, even though they were going fast, which was also part of it. And by that I mean rushing up to the line and snapping it quickly. And it wasn't as though Virginia was ripping off these 50-yard runs. It was kind of like you were playing an option team. It was 3 yards, 4 yards, 6 yards, 8 yards, 4 yards, 5 yards, but it was enough. And so it kept them on the field. Then meanwhile, you've got Carolina on the other side, and you've got the number one running back in the ACC as far as yards per game are concerned, Omarion Hampton. He's the only one in the league who's averaging better than 100 yards per game. He's top 20 in the nation in yards per game. He has 8 touchdowns on the season, which is the second most rushing touchdowns in the conference. And he touched the ball 5 times in the second half. And what I think that showed was something I was talking about earlier. Carolina, I think, felt that Virginia wasn't supposed to be that close, but was that close. And so Carolina, it just felt like they were in such a hurry the whole game to try and to get it over with, to put Virginia away, be done with this. Or you've got to score. It felt like they were playing from behind the whole game, even when they weren't.
Right.
And Virginia, meanwhile, was very patient, very committed, very methodical in what it was doing. And so that, to me, really told the story of the game within that one portion of the game. Now, to your point specifically about Mac Brown post-game, number one, Coach Brown is always going to be over the top in blaming himself. Mm-hmm. I think he feels that personally. I think he feels like he lets people down when Carolina loses games. And it's just, that's what you want your head coach to say, right? You don't want him to go out there and go, the players really messed this up. Of course you don't want that. So I do think it's worth having those grains of salt with you when you are thinking about what he said. Now, I also think Virginia very much followed a little bit of how Appalachian ran the football, the other team that has had the most success in running the ball. They ran a lot of stretch plays. and they had the quarterback read as a big part of the running attack. That's something that App did well. It's something that Virginia did well, and I'm going to guess it's something that the Tar Heels are going to see pretty consistently from this point forward until they start stopping it the way that they have stopped some more interior runs this season to this point.
Yeah, it was the letdown before the letdown happened last year, right? It was Tar Heels are rolling along, and then boom, Georgia Tech happens, and now this year it was the Virginia game. Hate that in the South's oldest rivalry, they now get to claim their only top 10 victory on the road was against the Tar Heels. But it's really back to the grindstone, because it's not as deflating as this is. It's still not over.
Well, and that's the whole point, right, Tank? I mean, in hindsight, and I agree with you about the Georgia Tech game last year. In hindsight, that was the game that Carolina never got over the hangover from, because it continued against State, and then that built into Clemson, and then finished up with Oregon. So it snowballed, absolutely. Well, we don't know that. Is this a snowball or is this a snowflake? Right. We don't know that answer at this moment, and it's up to the Tar Heels to determine that. They still control their destiny for the ACC championship game, and if you win that championship game, you're going to be in the conversation for everything you want to be in the conversation for, assuming that you go into that game with just this loss. And so now it's up to the Tar Heels to make a determination on which way their season's going to go. Is this going to be, that was a disappointing performance, absolutely, but it doesn't define the year? Or is it going to be, well, that's where this season changed and went from a year that you had thoughts of ACC championships and big bowl games to you're playing in a mid-level bowl at the end of the year. And now that's up to the Tar Heels to make that choice. I would be stunned if they came out flat in this game against Georgia Tech. I'd be surprised if they didn't have full energy, effort, and execution. That doesn't mean they're going to win, but I would be surprised if they didn't put themselves in the best position to do so.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. You're on the road in Atlanta. I feel like this is a place that has not been nice to us.
Yeah, Carolina's lost 10 of the last 12 in Atlanta. It's a challenging place to go. And I think the crazy part about that, Tank, is that spans, I think it's 6 different head coaches for the Tar Heels. That spans different styles of play. That spans different quality of teams for both sides. And yet, for whatever reason, it's just a hard place for Carolina to go win. And sometimes that happens in sports. The Tar Heels forever had trouble in Charlottesville. Fortunately for them, they've broken through that now, and they've won something like 4 of the last 6 or something like that on the road against Virginia. And, you can flip it the other way. Carolina's beaten Miami, I think it's 5 times in a row. I'm not sure Carolina's been significantly better than Miami for 5 consecutive years, but they've won 5 straight. It happens in athletics. Mm-hmm. And, again, it's up to you to change it if you're the Tar Heels. And for them, this is a good enough Georgia Tech team to beat Carolina for sure. They've got plenty of quality pieces. But if Carolina plays its best and Georgia Tech plays its best, I think Carolina's the better team. But it's up to the Tar Heels to go do that, and they've got to do it, and they don't have any time to mess around here, Tank. It's time to go now for Carolina. It's got to be this weekend, that first step to get back to where you want to go.
Right. For fans who may not have been paying attention to Georgia Tech, or the only time they saw Georgia Tech was seeing the fallout from that
Sure.
weird finish against the Miami, what do they bring to the table? What challenge do they bring?
Yeah, it's a very volatile team, and I think that they're 3-4, and I think that record is pretty representative of Georgia Tech, in that they've had some really good moments, and then they've had some not as good moments. But when they're good, they're very good. And the Miami game is a great example. Yes, of course, there was all the mess at the end, but Georgia Tech was right there at the end. And Miami's a really good team. they were right there with Ole Miss on the road against a very good ranked SEC team. They ended up losing. The final margin was more than 20, but that was not representative of that game. That was a one-score game in the fourth quarter. So they've had some good moments, but then they've also lost at home to Bowling Green. And they lost at home last week to Boston College in a game that they led by a touchdown going into the fourth quarter. So they've had some head-scratching moments as well. And I think what that is a sign of is Brent Keys in his first year as the full-time head coach. He was the interim coach in the middle of last year when Jeff Collins was let go. And so you can tell, I think it's still early in what he's trying to do, but I think you can see that the pieces are there. It's just not a finished product yet. But they have a really good quarterback, Texas A&M transfer, Haynes King. He can really run. He's got a good, strong arm. He is not afraid to make some high-risk, high-reward plays. And you see they've got a lot of skill on the edges. Mac Brown said this would be the fastest group of wide receivers that he thought Carolina has played up to this point, and that includes Miami, so you know that they've got some speed on the outside. Tech has really struggled defensively. They are last in the league. They're giving up 450-plus yards per game, including more than 225 on the ground. And so they have some deficiencies that you can try to exploit. But it is, again, a team that is good enough to win the game for sure. And if they are playing at their best, they are extraordinarily dangerous.
I don't know if you're a gambling man or not, but I was going to pose to you over under the number of times Omarion Hampton touches the ball in the second half this year or this week.
Yeah, you know, I was just talking to somebody else about this. I'll be interested to see how committed Carolina is aware that Omarion Hampton didn't touch the ball enough in the second half, that he is a terrific weapon at that position. And I think Carolina is committed to giving him the football. Having said that, you don't want to swing too far the other way either. Right. You do have Drake May and Tez Walker and Nate McCollum, who I'm sure is frustrated after really a poor game a week ago, and a bunch of tight ends, and all the guys that we know that Carolina has in that area as well. So I think the best way to approach it is not to go, holy cow, guys, we got to give Omarion 35 carries in this game. It's got to be, let's just remember to keep ourselves diversified offensively, which is what Carolina has done for the first 6 weeks of the year. Before that Virginia game, is that they didn't just rely on Drake May being excellent. They relied on the fact that they have an excellent group of offensive players. And so they just need to do the things that we already know they're capable of doing, and that is keep the other team off balance by being able to hurt them in multiple ways.
Yep. All right, Jones Angell, voice of the North Carolina Tar Heels, as always, joining us here on a Thursday in the Sportsocracy, and I guess next week it'll be time to talk some basketball. When
basketball, yep. Carolina got an exhibition game coming up tomorrow night in the Smith Center against St. Augustine's, and then the next Monday, so not the Monday coming up in a handful of days, but the one after that, Tar Heels are getting going for real, take on Radford to start the season. So hard to believe it's here, but crossover season is here, Tank, with both of them going full force, and looking forward to talking some Tar Heel hoops and football with you next week.
Yeah, definitely. We'll get the pregame look at the Highlanders for the opener, and hopefully talking about a win over the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, but nothing's for sure, right, Jones?
No, and I think Carolina understands that. And so that's why I'll go back to again. The Tar Heels still have the full capability to write the narrative of this season, but it has to start on Saturday.
Absolutely. Jones Angell, voice of the North Carolina Tar Heels. We'll talk to you again soon, brother. It is the Sportsocracy. It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400 at Threadbare Thursday. Continues after this. The best season of the year is here.
Tailgate season.
Monster Brewing presents this season's MVP,
The Beast Unleashed.
with 4 bold, familiar flavors.
With 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Beast Unleashed is your new pregame ritual.
With white haze, mean green, peach perfect, and scary berries, there's a flavor for every fan.
The Beast
Unleashed.
6% alcohol by volume. Unleashed responsibly. Must be 21 or over. Beast Unleashed. Available at your local retailer.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
When seasonal allergies and clogged sinuses make you miserable, you want fast relief. But recently there's confusion about which cold and allergy products work and which ones don't. In fact, oral phenylephrine, a drug found in many oral decongestants in the cold and allergy aisle, is currently being evaluated by the FDA because it may be ineffective. Luckily, there's a drug-free solution called Navage that for many provides on-the-spot relief. Navage is the natural way to relieve congestion by sucking out the allergens, germs, and mucus that can make you stuffy and miserable. Nasal irrigation works, and Navage makes it quick and easy, but more than anything, it helps you breathe better. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril. Trust drug-free Navage so you can breathe better, snore less, and feel healthier. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
The Sportsocracy.
These guys are a f***ing disgrace.
And we're back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. College football last weekend, it wasn't my favorite. I mean, after the North Carolina Tar Heels, I mean, we're all used to this, right? We're all just dead inside. We all get that way with our teams. I mean, of course you are. You're dead inside when it comes to your New York Jets.
No. You were talking about college football.
No, college
I'm not
football.
Dead inside.
No, you're not.
No, I got 3 national titles. I got a team that just has to keep doing what it's supposed to. Favored by 21 this week.
North Carolina letting us down last week. And they were the latest to eliminate themselves from the college football playoff discussion.
We've been getting about one of those a week that removes themselves from the conversation. To the point of now, I think there's only, if you're being realistic, there's probably only 7 teams that could make it, maybe 8. And it would take a series of upsets from that 8th team.
Yes.
So, my question is, who do you see the most vulnerable this week?
Most vulnerable this week?
I think
definitely
we can.
Not Florida State.
I was about to say, I think we can eliminate my team because Wake Forest. Those you can have those tickets right now for the low price of one $5 bill and one U.S. doll hair. The get-in price is $6. It costs more for a Happy Meal at McDonald's than it does to get in at Wake Forest.
Let's see, most at risk of a loss this week. I'm going to go with Oklahoma against Kansas.
That's the one I want to say.
Okay.
But Jalen Daniels is still out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that they can beat Oklahoma with Jason Bean. I don't like the number because 9 feels like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But Kansas has been horribly undervalued all year long. That's why they keep appearing in the bangers. I don't hate that one because it is in Lawrence. I keep looking at that game with your Georgia Bulldogs in Florida.
I had a feeling that's the one because that was my number 2.
And it's not that I really believe in Florida. Because I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're very good. I've said that all year long. I think Florida State's going to boat race them. Utah boat raced them.
Yeah. Do you think Georgia's that bad without Brock?
I think your offense is really bad without him.
Mm-hmm.
He's so integral to how everything functions. And when I've seen Florida at its most incomplete, it's been teams that can run the ball down their throat.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think you can do that. Kentucky did it.
Mm-hmm.
Utah did it.
Mm-hmm.
That's their 2 losses.
Yep.
No team that has not been able to get a legit running game going has been able to beat Florida. And I don't know. I just keep looking at it going, that number stinks. 14.5. That feels like you're daring me to take Georgia, and I'm not going to.
See, I would think it would be the other way. Take Florida.
Well, I mean, my thought
Plus
is
the 14.
my thought is Georgia's coming off a bye.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia to me is significantly better, but this is a rivalry game, and you're giving me that hook. That feels like you're saying, just do it. You know Georgia's more than 14 points better than Florida.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they are playing on everybody coming off of the Brock Bowers thing. Like, I would think the most popular side of this would be the Florida side. The Florida plus the 14.5.
I can answer that question.
I could be absolutely wrong on that. But I would, because I'd be tempted. If I were a gambling man, I'd be tempted. Without Brock Bowers, this team's not the same. You are correct in that.
Money's about 65-35.
Mm-hmm.
And about 3/4 of the tickets are on Florida.
So Florida is getting the majority of the money.
Florida's getting a little over the majority of the money and the vast majority of tickets.
The bets, yes.
Which means that sharp money's on Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
That's about how I thought that was going to go.
Right.
Neither one of these teams are good at covering a spread. I mean, they're horrifically bad. They're 4-9-1 combined.
Mm-hmm. Georgia hasn't covered many spreads.
1-5-1.
There you go. They just, and that was the Kentucky game. That was the only spread that they've covered because they've been major, major favorites and have screwed around with some of these other teams, or all of the other teams except for Kentucky that they've faced. Dejon Edwards is a good running back. He's just not what you think a Georgia running back should be. He's not a Nick Chubb. He's not a Sony Michel, who was great in his time.
Mm-hmm.
We get swayed by what his NFL career turned out to be. He's just, I don't think he's that, at least not yet.
Well, I mean, the problem is that he doesn't get the steady workload. I mean, this is a kid that barely averages over 10 carries a game.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, he's a bit of a, I'm not going to say a home run hitter. The good's been very good. The problem is that if you take off the best 10 runs of his season and the worst 10 runs and you get into that meaty clackers of the 60 in the middle, it's really mediocre.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't look at that the same way that I looked at Utah coming in because they were having to go out to Utah. I didn't look at it the same way I looked at Kentucky because Kentucky had something to prove.
Mm-hmm.
I almost feel like Florida's going to look at this, load the box, and go, Carson Beck, you have to beat us. And I'm not so sure he can do that.
I think he can. I think he can.
I mean, anybody can. Baker Mayfield could beat the Buffalo Bills tonight. I'm playing law of averages here.
Right.
If you put this game, rivalry game, in the hands of Carson Beck with no Brock Bowers, I feel like if you played this 10 times, he's going to lose it for you 3 of them.
Yeah.
Now, the other contenders, not so many losable games on this here schedule.
No.
And Ohio State at Camp Randall, I guess you could get a letdown game, but that Wisconsin offense just is terrible.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, this is a total aside, but it popped up on my screen. How bad do you think USC is going to be when they get to the Big Ten? Every single one of these teams can just bludgeon you defensively, and they can't stop anybody that's physical.
It's not going to be easy, but I feel like that's something that they'll come around to. Like the first few years are probably not going to be good.
8-4 at best.
Right. You're going to be able to outscore most everybody, but you'll learn.
And
right?
these teams are going to come in and absolutely punch you in the throat.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You're not going to have a lot of fun playing Iowa. You're not going to have
Nobody
fun.
has fun playing Iowa.
Right. You're not going to have a lot of fun playing Wisconsin. God forbid what happens when you have to play against Penn State.
Or Ohio State or Michigan.
Exactly. But that'll be part of it that catches up, right? Because you'll have to focus more. You'll have to focus more on the defense, and you'll.
I don't think it's been a lack of focus. I think it's a lack of when you score that quickly, that often, you're never going to have a good defense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, think about how many of these coaches we've seen. Yeah, you've obviously got Lincoln Riley now. You had Cliff Kingsbury before that, Mike Leach, on and on and on. Can you name a good defensive team that any of them have ever had? No, there's a reason for that.
Yeah. It's mostly shootout games.
Yeah. Because that's what they can do.
Mm-hmm.
You put a defense back on the field every 3 minutes, you're not going to be great. So I think he'll have to adjust and really radically change what it is he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Or he runs away with Caleb Williams at the end of the year, which that noise is getting louder and louder and louder and louder.
Is it really?
I'm a little shocked you didn't say Oregon against Utah.
That was the next one that I was getting ready to say.
I have never.
Because I mean, we're still on Oregon is in the contender realm.
Yes.
Okay.
I also am on the Oregon is going to beat Utah within 5 inches of their lives. You talk about a number that as soon as this came out, I went, oh, piece of candy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's my biggest wager of the week. It's not even close.
Oregon to cover the 6.5 on the road against number 13 Utah.
Utah can't score. Utah can't score. And yes, I know death taxes Bo Nix on the road.
Mm-hmm.
But, all right, get away from Bo Nix. Where's the advantage here for Utah? There's not one. If this game was in Eugene, I would have Oregon as a 20-point favorite. So you move the venue and you not so fast, my friend.
And you can bring it down 14 points. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
I feel like people think because I was so convinced that Washington was going to beat Oregon, and it was way closer than I thought it would be, that I don't believe in Oregon to any extent. No. That's not the case. I didn't like that matchup at all.
Mm-hmm.
I love this one.
Mm-hmm. You love this matchup for Oregon?
I do, especially coming off them beating USC, because the average bettor is going to heap money on Utah because they're at home. I did not pull the analytics on this.
Mm-hmm.
I can try to look it up really quick on where the money is, but I have a funny feeling it's on Utah.
I would
at least
25,
30% of it.
Yeah, I would not think that they would have the majority of the money on them.
No, I didn't say the majority.
Oh, okay. I
said they're going to have some significant money because to me, I look at that number and go, this should be 95-5.
Mm-hmm.
I'm catching less than a touchdown with a team that's this much better. Yeah, give me all the candy. They're catching 35%.
Yeah,
That's roughly where I thought.
I don't see any way this game is within double digits. Because I think a good performance by Utah keeps it a 10-point game. But other than that, because I do think the Utah defense is good enough to limit them from going absolutely crazy.
It is good, but I don't think the offense can do anything to help them.
Mm-hmm.
See, the problem is that they play a team like USC who can't stop them, so they can just bleed you like a catfish running the ball. That third-string pig farmer quarterback, whose name I can't remember because he's not relevant to anything outside of this conversation. that's the kind of team that Utah can beat. You get a more balanced team, because I do think Oregon can not stymie you defensively, but they're good enough. This has, it's like a water ride at an amusement park. You will get wet. You may get soaked.
Mm-hmm.
Utah, you will get beat. You may get obliterated.
Are you talking about Bryson Barnes?
That would be the one.
Bryson Barnes.
All I remembered was they said his family was pig farmers, and I went, pig farmer. That's his name.
He's
That's his
just
name.
pig farmer from now
From
on.
here on out, because I'll never remember that, because I don't even kind of care. I don't think there's ever going to come a time in my life that I need to know, hey, what was the third-string quarterback at Utah's name that year they beat USC in the Coliseum? I don't see anybody ever asking me that, and he's not a draft prospect, so don't care.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. The upset alert, in my opinion, this week, a little thin.
Oh, no doubt.
A little thin.
And
you got to jump to some extremes to get to these teams losing.
And yet, history shows us throughout this week and throughout this season that one of them is either going to lose or be significantly challenged.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Probably not records, but we're going to get close here. Today's record's 83. 76 this afternoon, not really close meteorologically, but lots of sunshine around. A few clouds tonight, low near 50. Sunshine tomorrow, 77. How about the weekend? The last weekend in October, more sunshine around. Great for outdoor activities with the highs close to 80 degrees. The change comes by about Halloween of next week. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Discover. If you like using debit over credit, shouldn't you also get rewarded? Well, now you can with Discover Cashback Debit. It's a checking account that rewards everyone with cash back on everyday purchases with no fees, period. Check out eligibility and terms at discover.com/cashbackdebit. Discover Bank, member FDIC.
At the North Carolina Education Lottery, we love to celebrate winners. So I hired a town crier to announce Pick 3, Pick 4, and Cash 5 winners.
Hear ye, hear ye. But there are thousands of winners every day.
Oyez, oyez, oyez. I may not have thought this through.
A proclamation of jubilant accord.
Who gave him a bell?
Daily draw games. What will you do with your win? Must be 18 to play. See Pick 3, Pick 4 and Cash 5 prize and odds charts at nclottery.com for details. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Imagine a world where animals and humans coexist in harmony, where wild animals thrive, habitats are protected, and marginalized communities are empowered. At International Animal Rescue, this is our vision. Our holistic, community-led projects not only rescue animals, but also protect and replenish precious habitats, creating a better future for us all. But we can't do this without you. Show your support now and help keep the wild, wild. Visit internationalanimalrescue.org.
Jim Gaffigan here with some more Straight Talk. Now you can get a Walmart Plus membership, plus not pay for it, because it's included with Straight Talk wireless plans. You get free delivery with Walmart Plus, plus a Paramount Plus subscription included. Plus, you pay less for gas. That's a lot of pluses.
Only Straight Talk gives you unlimited 5G data and Walmart Plus included on select plans for free.
Straight Talk Wireless, available at Walmart.
Requires service on Gold or Platinum Unlimited. One offer per eligible account. Paramount Plus Essential Plan only. Separate registration required. Additional terms apply.
If you like using debit over credit, shouldn't you also get rewarded? Well, now you can with Discover Cashback Debit. It's a checking account that rewards everyone with cash back on everyday purchases with no fees, period. Check out eligibility and terms at discover.com/cashbackdebit. Discover Bank, member FDIC.
Real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
The Asheville Championship returns to Harris Cherokee Center in Asheville November 10th and 12th. This year's field is the best yet. The Clemson Tigers, Maryland Terrapins, Davidson Wildcats, and the Blazers of UAB. 4 exciting matchups with a champion to be crowned at one of the premier early season tournaments in college basketball. For more information and to get your tickets, go to AshevilleChampionship.com. That's AshevilleChampionship.com. It all starts in Asheville November 10th and 12th. Proudly sponsored by Ingalls Markets.
on the weird scale. There's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
Back in the Sportsocracy, and I can't really tell whether or not the subject of my next story is villain or hero. There's a restaurant in North Georgia.
I have a feeling that I'm going to be able to cut through the hero or villain thing real quick.
Chattahoochee Oconee National Forest, just outside of the forest. So it's pretty close to our area here.
So what you're saying is they're way down yonder on the Chattahoochee?
They are way down yonder on the Chattahoochee.
Did they ever know how much that muddy water meant to them? Did they learn how to swim and learn who they were?
Right. For local reference here, this is, according to the Google map here, it looks like it's about 20, 30, maybe 40 miles south of Murphy. So it's not far from the North Carolina state line. Toccoa Riverside Restaurant is grabbing national headlines because they apparently have a policy in place that has rankled many people who have visited there.
Oh, yeah. I'm 95% sure I'm going hero here. I don't even know what you're going to say, and I don't know that I care.
Online reviews. Let's see here. Online reviews of the restaurant littered with examples of angry parents claiming that they were either charged an extra fee or they were chastised by the restaurant's owner for being bad parents. They have on the top of their bills an adult surcharge for adults unable to parent. And then there's 4 little dollar signs of it's up to us to decide what your surcharge is going to be if you're a bad parent.
But what are the examples of bad parents?
Well, one example was here. I'll just read you the posting from a week ago that says, if you have children, absolutely avoid this place at all costs. Holy moly, the most disrespectful owner made a huge scene in front of the entire restaurant because our children were, quote, running through the restaurant. They were down by the river. We were told that we needed to go to Burger King and Walmart with them and that we were bad parents. They have a $50 surcharge for bad children. We were a group of 21. Our server was amazing and was overly apologetic. Terrible business practice, will never be back. So the claim is that if you got kids running around the restaurant, this owner is going to charge you $50.
And you may not like this. I don't have any qualms.
No
with this.
qualms.
But, I mean, it's got to be over the top.
Right.
How many meals have you had ruined in your life because little Johnny or Susie decided?
A few.
And it's always the parent that goes, I'm going to put you in a timeout. I don't know that that's the tact I would have taken there.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna disagree with this. I mean,
it depends on what it is.
I think we have to vote on it, right? I think the restaurant should get to vote.
Before
the bill comes, before the bill comes out, the owner gets to take a poll of the group. And if the group decides that these people need to pay the surcharge,
but not the group that they're in. Everybody else gets to vote. Yes.
You don't get any say in this. We decide. Like in this case, okay, there were 21 people there. They say that the kids weren't running around the restaurant. Maybe they were, maybe they weren't. I don't know. There's another posting on there that says we got charged the surcharge and all my kid did was watch tablet until the food came out, ate the food, and we left.
Oh, no, I'm very pro-tablet for someone else's kid.
You're right.
That tablet will 100% keep your kid from ruining my meal.
Right.
So I am totally
Said that
down.
the owner was so rude to the grandkids that he made the 3-year-old cry.
Now, here's my question. Is this owner's last name Green? Because, just knowing the dudes in my family, this is sounding like somebody that might be kin to the mullet.
Very well could be. Very well could be. I think in certain scenarios, this could be useful.
No doubt.
However, if it's abused and you just don't want kids at your restaurant, then you're the jerk in this situation.
I had I'm going to tell a story. My name's on the door. I'm allowed to. I was at an establishment that I'm not going to disclose, but I will tell you it starts with a W and it ends in Allmart. And there was a little kid. I was in a line. This was back when I smoked. I was at the there's only one line where you can get any form of tobacco product. So I'm at that line.
Yes.
And there was I don't remember if it was a mother and father. I know there was at least a parent and there was one kid. And the kid is running around like you just hyped him up on, I don't even know that sugar can do that.
Mm-hmm.
I have only seen methamphetamine do what has happened to this child.
I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
100%. So the kid is running around like a crazy person and proceeds to Mike Tyson the guy in front of me in the ding-ding.
Oh.
He then ran up to me like I was going to be victim number 2, and I looked at this kid like, I will literally Randy Macho Man Savage drop kick you across this room. And there was a look on my face that he just kind of went, I don't think I'm gonna. There's something about that dude that says I don't want to do that, but the little scrawnier feller in front of me, he had no aversion to. The only thing that the parent said to him was, I am taking your tablet away for the rest of the day. And I went, without skipping a beat, went, there's a better solution to that. I can tell you what it is. Follow me for more parental tips. My story also has to do with a charge that's being given to people for doing something that some of you may or may not agree with.
Okay.
Now, the difference is in my story, there's only 2 sides of this. There's the right side and the wrong side. Comes from London. They have begun rolling out fines for things that people in their community are doing. Would you care to? It's a $16 fine every day. Would you care to take a stab at what that is?
No.
They are fining the owners and drivers of cars built before 2006, as well as pre-2015 diesel vehicles, because they're trying to be energy conscious.
Mm-hmm.
And they want to make sure that we're protecting the environment because it's so important that we protect the environment. Now, I'm going to tell you something that shouldn't surprise you all that much. Do you remember Les Snead's philosophy on draft picks?
Yes.
Falafel them picks.
Yes.
You can assume that I have a very similar tact when it comes to anything that ends in the environment. Trust me, we're going to blow this earth to pieces in World War V before the environment gets any of us. I promise. That's A.
Mm-hmm.
B, if you put a citation on my car, because my car does not apply to either of these things. It is newer than 2006 and it is not a diesel. But if you put a fine on my car that said this, I would laugh so aggressively, I might absolutely defecate on myself in public. There's a great possibility that I would just poop my pants in the street because I laughed so hard.
And that would be all fine. But you know what? You still pay it.
My history with parking tickets would say that that's not necessarily true. State of West Virginia, I am the John Gotti of that state.
As I know, since they banned guns over there, remember they don't have anything better to do.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It solved all their problems.
Oh, yeah.
They don't have any crime anymore.
Oh, yeah.
So this is like high level. They might put you in the Tower of London for not paying your eco-friendly car tax.
Now,
see, you said that they're to help us with the environment. No, this is so the government could steal more of your money.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. You're speaking my language. 'Cause that's what the government does best, is steal your monies.
No doubt. All day, air day.
I work a job, and the government taxes my income for the privilege of working in their...
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. You're getting
I own land, and I am taxed for the privilege of owning the land that I paid for.
Bingo.
This is simple. This is simple civics, people.
Because you know what?
It happens every day.
Because you know what? We need more bike lanes.
No, we don't. Not ever.
Not really. Not in Area 1.
At least not in this city. Merriman Avenue, how'd that work out? Hey, let's do it 2 more times. One of them on the busiest city in the entire town.
They're gonna, because they're crazy.
And that's gonna end poorly.
It is a Thursday, Threadbare Thursday here in the Sportsocracy. You got anything you want us to touch on before the end of the program? You need to get that in there now into the chat on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com. Click that live video link and subscribe to the channel. Look, tonight is going to be gross. I would suggest maybe doing anything other than watching Thursday Night Football. I don't know that it's going to be that entertaining of a game.
Oh, it's not. The NFL has figured out that we can take these standalone games and give you any steaming pile of dog excrement in a paper bag. And guess what? You're going to watch it. Mm-hmm. Now, they overachieved with Colts-Broncos last year because I think we all just universally went, all right, this is the line. You have to at least give me a good team, or at least a mediocre team at the very worst. You cannot give me 2 of the 5 worst teams in the NFL, which is what that game was. Mm-hmm. I don't necessarily know that I agree with you. I don't think this is going to be a beauty contest by any stretch of the imagination, but I don't think it's unwatchable. Maybe unwatchable for you. If I'm wrong, then it'll certainly be unwatchable for you.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like there is a great chance for that.
I feel like we need to do a poll in the YouTube chat. Mm-hmm. Which version of Tank do we get tomorrow? Is it hopeful, let's just go win the division? By the way, these are all verbatim lines that have come out of his mouth in the last 7 weeks. Lose every game and fire everybody. Or, we're better than I thought we were. Mm-hmm. I've seen all 3 of those guys. I've never seen them at the same time.
No, you won't.
It's almost like multiplicity. Mm-hmm. The different stages of Buccaneer fan saddom.
It's because your opinion changes every week, or at least mine does, with this team. I may not be so bad. Oh, no, there it is.
No,
there's the bad.
I
may not. Oh, no, it's still bad. Oh, Baker's not bad, but Todd Bowles is terrible. I mean, those are the 3 stages, pretty much.
West Virginia Willie asked, what do you do when you get mad at Tampa? Do you turn the television off, or do you sit through the anger?
Oh, I sit through the anger. I sit and I seethe and I cuss. And my wife has heard me cuss Todd Bowles almost as much as Jeremy's wife heard him cuss Todd Bowles.
I met Amy after.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so whoever you subjected your craziness to.
Adam Gase. I'm telling you, if your phones actually do listen to what you say, and my phone heard any of the things that I said about Adam Gase, I am on a list. And one day that's going to come really not in handy when I try to board an aircraft.
Yeah, no, there's a whole lot of, when I watch Tampa Bay Buccaneers football, there's a whole lot of, let's just run the ball on first down.
I can hear you being that
Can
guy.
we do that? Can we do that again? Please, Todd Bowles, can you rack up another run to the middle where nobody can block? Yeah, that's me for 3 hours.
I was about to say, I actually hear this in live time. I can attest, I've heard him do that.
It's like, defense makes a great play. Yeah, Antoine Winfield punches it out at the end zone. That's an awesome play. Now let's see Todd Bowles come here and Todd Bowles this thing up.
Yeah, see, the trajectory of a Jets game with me is like it's the 5 stages of hell. Because we start with total optimism before kickoff. Because practically every week I say, I know it sounds crazy, but the Jets could win this game. Then there's stage 2, which is they give me a big grumper in the first quarter, and I go to Twitter and I say everyone in the organization, from the owner to the guy who cleans the porta potties at MetLife, should be fired and exiled to that hole from 300. Mm-hmm. Then comes halftime, which is it's more acceptance of, why do I do this to myself every single week? Then there's the 4th stage that Tank is very fond of, which is Why do we even have officials? There is no good official on this planet. And then there's 5, which is when we win, and I go, how fast can I delete all the things I said on Twitter? It's the only social media where I delete things. It's also the only social media where I say what I really think.
Yep. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. Take a quick break. When we come back, Jeremy will have his parlay for the night and Thursday night football. And when we come back after the top of the hour, it'll be daily draft time here on a Threadbare Thursday.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
The Asheville Championship returns to Harrah's Cherokee Center in Asheville November 10th and 12th. This year's field is the best yet. The Clemson Tigers, Maryland Terrapins, Davidson Wildcats, and the Blazers of UAB. 4 exciting matchups with a champion to be crowned at one of the premier early season tournaments in college basketball. For more information and to get your tickets, go to AshevilleChampionship.com. That's AshevilleChampionship.com. It all starts in Asheville November 10th and 12th. Proudly sponsored by Ingalls Markets.
Have you taken advantage of your dental benefits for 2023? Make your appointment now to get in before December 31st at Summit Dental. Most dental insurance covers 2 cleanings and exams a year. Contact Summit Dental now to take full advantage of your plan. Summit Dental also has a full range of professional services, from crowns and fillings, implants, teeth whitening, and more. Plus, they're accepting new patients. Visit AshevilleSummitDental.com and schedule your appointment now to get in before the end of the year.
Over 50,000 police officers are assaulted each year. Help police by not escalating. Address any complaints after the encounter. Comply now, complain later. Keep everybody safe. This message brought to you by the National Police Association. Learn more at nationalpolice.org.
The Gillette Intimate Trimmer gives you a gentle, easy way to trim your pubic region. Or you could try waxing. Nope. From America's #1 trusted men's grooming brand, the best a man can get, down there. Buy Gillette Intimate at a retailer near you.
The future of joint pain relief is here. It's QC Kinetics, Advanced Regenerative Medicine. This is amazing stuff. If you've been told more steroids or surgery are your only options, don't be so fast. Get a second opinion and learn more about how you can harness your body's own healing agents to attack that joint pain. I'm talking lasting relief. QC Kinetics doesn't mask the pain. These treatments go to the very root of the problem using concentrated healing properties placed directly in your joint to restore and repair that damaged tissue. Imagine living your life this fall with no more pain in your knees, your hips, your shoulder, your back, with no drugs, no downtime, and no surgery. Listen, life is about motion, and QC Kinetics is giving people their lives back with these all-natural treatments. Call the local medical professionals and get a free consultation today. QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. Call 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517 in Asheville and in Greenville. 828-333-9517.
This is the biggest parlay I have ever given out on this show. I'm going for broke because I really feel like I know what's going to happen tonight. Start with the college games. I gave you Virginia Tech -3 early. I'm going to give you Kyron Drones anytime touchdown scorer. That's basic. Syracuse, Virginia Tech at +170. Georgia Southern -1 under the 62. That's +264. Then we get to the NFL game. Tampa Bay Buccaneers +9 under the 43.5. I don't think Tampa Bay is going to contribute a lot to this scoring output, and I don't think Buffalo scores a ton either. Give me under the 43.5. Now, anytime touchdown scorer, Josh Allen. Tampa Bay's good against the run. If anybody's going to run one in for the Buffalo Bills, it's Josh Allen. I have this funny feeling that there's going to be a pass interference in the end zone. Buffalo gets down to the 1, and then you see Buffalo's version of the touche-poosh, and that gets Josh Allen in the end zone. What does Tampa Bay give up a lot of? Deep shots to high-flying receivers, especially when it's the 2. I love Gabriel Davis to score tonight. That turns the Thursday Night Football NFL game into plus 4,700. You put all those into a parlay, put 5 on it just like I am, and it pays just under $2,400. Take those wagers to betus.com. Use our promo code Sportsocracy. Get a 125% deposit match and up to 30 risk-free bets so you can wager football with us all season long.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Probably not records, but we're going to get close here. Today's record's 83. 76 this afternoon, not really close meteorologically, but lots of sunshine around. A few clouds tonight, low near 50. Sunshine tomorrow, 77. How about the weekend? The last weekend in October, more sunshine around. Great for outdoor activities with the highs close to 80 degrees. The change comes by about Halloween of next week. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic.
63 Americans a day die by gun suicide. By storing our guns safely, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo, we can give our loved ones a second chance at life. Learn more at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
The Asheville Championship returns to Harrah's Cherokee Center in Asheville November 10th and 12th. This year's field is the best yet. The Clemson Tigers, Maryland Terrapins, Davidson Wildcats, and the Blazers of UAB. 4 exciting matchups with a champion to be crowned at one of the premier early season tournaments in college basketball. For more information and to get your tickets, go to AshevilleChampionship.com. That's AshevilleChampionship.com. It all starts in Asheville November 10th and 12th. Proudly sponsored by Ingalls Markets.
When seasonal allergies and clogged sinuses make you miserable, you want fast relief. But recently there's confusion about which cold and allergy products work and which ones don't. In fact, oral phenylephrine, a drug found in many oral decongestants in the cold and allergy aisle, is currently being evaluated by the FDA because it may be ineffective. Luckily, there's a drug-free solution called Navage that for many provides on-the-spot relief. Navage is the natural way to relieve congestion by sucking out the allergens, germs, and mucus that can make you stuffy and miserable. Nasal irrigation works, and Navage makes it quick and easy, but more than anything, it helps you breathe better. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril. Trust drug-free Navage so you can breathe better, snore less, and feel healthier. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Deposit. That's deposit. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com. And good luck from your friends at ESPN Asheville.
The Sportsocracy.
That fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls studio.
Back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. Third hour of the program here on a Threadbare Thursday. And continue to throw out your topic suggestions. We'll get to those before the end of the hour in the chat on the YouTube stream.
Before we give the daily draft here,
yes,
I have to give some flowers to a restaurant here in lovely Asheville.
Mm-hmm.
It's also going to elicit me asking a question because I don't know the answer. So last night, HWA and I went to Twisted Laurel out in Weaverville. I have started a keto diet because I have to lose some weight because Tank had an infarction and it scared me because, well, I live a little faster and looser than he does, and he had a heart attack 5 years older than what I am right now. So I got a bison burger, a Greek bison burger.
Mm-hmm.
The bison meat, the feta cheese, cucumber, tomato, oh my good gracious, with a Greek salad, it's probably the best thing I've ever put in my mouth. It was outrageously good. Now I have to ask the question, where the hell you buy bison at? Like, I'm not even 100% sure I know what bison is. It's like a buffalo, right? They're in the buffalo and bison are in the same family, right?
Yeah.
And I've lived here for much of my life, and I've never been driving down the road and going, that farm full of bison.
Yep.
Is it a flock of bison?
I'm pretty sure
Herd.
I'm pretty sure you can get bison meat at Ingles.
Can you?
I think you can.
Okay.
I don't think it's over. Like, all right. So in the Ingles, there is the section with all the steaks and stuff.
Yes.
Right, and it's got the curved meat counter, and then there's the separate one where the ground meat is.
Yes.
Right. I think over there where the ground meat is, they do have bison somewhere, and they're like little square packs.
Okay.
I'm actually looking it up
I do
right
have
now.
to tell you this. I am not asking anyone for anything. My wife told me, you have to ask the butcher. Nope. I talk 3 hours a day.
I'm not talking to anybody
I'm not
else.
talking to anybody. I go to the grocery store with my earbuds in, and if you even look at me, I will immediately divert my attention to something else.
Mm-hmm.
The grocery store, that's me time.
Yep. Carolina ground bison. That's what Ingles carries.
So
there you go.
Well, I'm headed to Ingles after the show.
Ingles
'Cause that-
Supermarkets, low prices, love the savings.
Proud sponsor of this here show.
Yes, indeed they are. All right, daily draft. We had a few suggestions in the chat.
Bill Belichick said Tank didn't have a heart attack. He had an Arby's attack.
He's not wrong.
Here's
There are a
the-
lot
here's
of
the-
curly fries that added to that little
No doubt.
blockage.
Here's what I know. I was here for it, and for as pale as he is, he was 3 shades paler. And there was much of me going, I might have to scoop him off the floor with a shovel. And I don't want to do that.
Yeah, when Jeremy looks at you and goes, "Hey, maybe you need to go to the doctor," for a guy who doesn't suggest going to the doctor for anything, yeah, you've got a problem.
I trust doctors just slightly more than I trust the government, and just a little bit less than I trust birds.
Mm-hmm.
Not a big doctor guy.
Back on your topic of bison, though, there is a bison farm out in Leicester.
What'd I just say about talking to people?
I'm just saying.
That feels like talking to people.
I didn't say you had to talk to anybody.
Well, I mean, I don't think I can just show up at the farm with my hand out and they figure out that I want ground bison.
Celery. Just you'll get in your car. Come on, buddy.
Yeah, and get Wally to hop in the back of my Lexus. Now,
I could just see Jeremy standing on the side of NC 63 with a piece of celery. Go, come here, buddy.
Yeah, I got a handful of salt cubes going. Come on, with my car door
Salt
open.
Cubes?
Or sugar cubes.
Sugar cubes, not salt cubes. Like you're trying to catch anteaters or
No.
what?
No wonder I can't kidnap a horse. Are you trying to feed it salt?
Yeah. Although they do make salt licks for horses, I think. So they might like that. I don't know. I always thought it was sugar cubes and apples.
I don't know.
Bison will probably eat blue cheese out of your hand. They're, frou-frou like that.
I don't know where to put it.
No,
and
ain't got the room.
And we skipped the most important thing of what am I going to do? All right, let's say I get it in the car and it fits. What do I do with it now? I don't think I can put live bison in a pan.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think I am doing any of the things that lead to it getting in the pan, you don't know me nearly as well as I thought you did.
Right. All right, let's get into the daily draft here. We had a few suggestions in the chat, but the one we're going to go with for the moment is current NFL players who will be Hall of Famers someday or should be in the Hall of Fame someday.
So
that's a lot.
That's a lot, and we had to put some caveats on it. So we're taking out the quarterbacks.
Yes.
And it's I'll bet my house they make it in the Hall of Fame.
Bet my house.
I'll let you start.
Oh, you're going to let me start?
Yes.
Okay. Well, non-quarterbacks going in the NFL, I have no doubts in my mind that Myles Garrett will be an NFL Hall of Famer. There's no way around that.
I tend to agree.
If you feel like his resume is not good enough right now, well, it's going to be. It is definitely going to be. And after the show that we saw him put on this past week, and honestly, everything outside of the Mason Rudolph game, which even some people were on his side on that one, everything he's done in his career has been just eye-popping.
He is not of this world.
Mm-hmm.
And he has enough of a resume that I think we can comfortably say, yeah, he's going to get in.
Yep.
All right. I have to try to keep players away from you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the obvious one is Taylor Swift's boyfriend, Travis Kelce.
Good for you.
Because that should be unanimous. We didn't even have to actually vote on this. We just all looked at each other and went, yeah, that. Because to me, he is the greatest tight end that ever lived already, and probably still has 3 or 4 more good years left. And that's even at, what is he, 34? 33?
Something like that.
He's somewhere in that neighborhood. He's 34. He actually just turned 34.
Mm-hmm.
That one's a no-doubter to me.
Absolutely.
Now, the caveat of this, of the bet your house thing, makes this a little more difficult.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to – I don't think you'll take that guy. I don't think I have to do that yet. I'm going to take a no-doubter because this guy's old.
Okay.
Patrick Peterson.
Ooh, okay.
He's a no-doubter. Now, he's actively playing too long, but he's going to get in.
Mm-hmm.
And it will not take that long. I think he's a first-ballot guy, too. He's not Darrelle Revis, but he's pretty close.
Right. It's interesting that you did that, because I was thinking another cornerback, but it wasn't Patrick Peterson.
Sauce Gardner, good pick.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Are we good 2 years in? Are we giving Sauce Gardner the Patrick Mahomes treatment?
Oh,
he's been in the league for a year and a half. Oh, he's a Hall of Famer.
I think we should.
He's a Hall of Famer. No, the one I had on my mind was Stephon Gilmore.
Yeah, that one makes sense.
I feel like, he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer, but he's definitely in, right?
I would agree with you.
There's so many obvious ones. I'm like trying to stay away from super obvious ones. Because, there's Micah Parsons, right?
He's so young. There's so many things that could happen there.
Yeah, right. There's TJ Watt. And I think that's where I have to go.
Oh, that's where you're going?
I think so.
I was trying to gift you one, and okay. Aaron Donald.
Oh,
Aaron Donald.
He didn't cross my mind.
I figured that was going to be your first pick, and then you didn't do it, and I know he's your guy, so I tried to not take him.
Mm.
And TJ Watt makes all the sense in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll go Von Miller. So far, I've yet to hit one that I have even a shred
of doubt.
I don't have a shred of doubt that any of mine don't go in immediately.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have that doubt with yours either. Stephon Gilmore.
Stephon Gilmore he's like a fringe guy who's going to take 6-7 ballots probably.
Oh, I don't think he'll take that.
You don't think so?
He's Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
Don't get many of those guys that are that good for that long that you have to wait real long.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of them said in the chat.
I want to go with Trent Williams.
That's a good one.
He is, no doubt, generational left tackle You can say what you want to about his injury history. I don't care. This guy's going down as one of the best to ever do it. So he is a no-doubter to me. And you know what? I know this is another one that I know it's going to take time, but I said it, last week, and I'll say it again. It's Julio Jones. There's nothing keeping him out.
You went super deep into he's technically active. He's
active. Yeah, he's under contract. Played the other night, didn't he? Did he? Did he even get on the field?
He did. Not much. Well, you did what I thought you would.
Bet my house.
Because I'm not going to lie, I considered taking the one I'm getting ready to take, the first set of picks.
Okay.
And then I realized you wouldn't do it. Justin Tucker.
Ooh.
Justin Tucker will get into the Hall of Fame on the first ballot.
Yes.
You mark my words.
Yes.
No and I don't care who else is on it. It does not matter.
Yep. That's not a bad little batch of picks there. I mean, you could have gone so many other places. Fletcher Cox.
My next two both have the same first name. Cam Jordan, Cam Hayward.
Ooh. Okay. I like that. I wanted to go with some of the young guys, but it's just too early.
No.
It's too early.
I don't go with anybody that's under 30 years old.
No.
There's too many things that can happen there. And if we're talking bet your house, you're already in. All five of mine are already in. They could all decide to form a pact and start a surfboard company tomorrow. 5 years from now, there's your Hall of Fame class.
Yeah. You know, I don't know if I'd bet my house on it, but I'd like to put Levante David on this list.
I would not bet my house on that. He's an off-ball linebacker.
Yeah. He's still one of the best. Still one of the best that'll get in at some point.
If we had
but it'll take longer than it took Rondé.
If we had a Hall of Very Good, he would be a shoe-in for that.
Oh, stop that.
Gigi Gamlick said, neither of you said Tyreek Hill, and I'm shocked. There's things with Tyreek Hill.
I mean, there's no doubt, right? I mean, even if he has an average career for the next 5 years.
Well, see, that's the problem is that a couple years ago he said he was only playing 2 more years. So you dip out. I don't know. You say that, but then you look at you've got the personal things that happened early in his career, and then you look at how many receivers there are sitting there waiting to get the call. That's the reason I didn't say.
Right.
I think he will make it. He will make it in. And Sir Jimothy asked, how did Zach Martin not make the list? Because he's a guard, but it's a good call.
That is a great call.
He's another one I'd bet my house on.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't care what the amount of money you had. Lane Johnson, that's another one. Jason Kelsey. I'm really glad I'm not a Hall of Fame voter because about 7 or 8 years from now, it's going to be worse than it is right now.
The backlog.
Cool. We have 9 of these guys show up on the ballot first time. Which one are we going to cull? I pass. That'll be harder than electing a Speaker of the House. I politics, okay?
Yeah.
I know stuff. I learned books.
Good for you. It'll take 17 ballots. Levante David's getting into the Hall of Fame. You mark my words.
Yeah, about the time you turn 80.
Mike Evans, too. Put your house on it. You're the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. The best season of the year is here.
Tailgate season.
Monster Brewing presents this season's MVP.
The Beast Unleashed.
With 4 bold, familiar flavors.
With 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Beast Unleashed is your new pregame ritual.
With White Haze, Mean Green, Peach Perfect, and Scary Berries, there's a flavor for every fan. The Beast Unleashed.
6% alcohol by volume. Unleashed responsibly. Must be 21 or over. Beast Unleashed available at your local retailer.
Real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
Fall into a hiring spree with Indeed. Their end-to-end hiring solution makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates. Sponsor a job and instantly receive a short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
When seasonal allergies and clogged sinuses make you miserable, you want fast relief. But recently there's confusion about which cold and allergy products work and which ones don't. In fact, oral phenylephrine, a drug found in many oral decongestants in the cold and allergy aisle, is currently being evaluated by the FDA because it may be ineffective. Luckily, there's a drug-free solution called Navage that for many provides on-the-spot relief. Navage is the natural way to relieve congestion by sucking out the allergens, germs, and mucus that can make you stuffy and miserable. Nasal irrigation works, and Navage makes it quick and easy, but more than anything, it helps you breathe better. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril. Trust drug-free Navage so you can breathe better, snore less, and feel healthier. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
Some intimate parts need the gentle, easy trim of a Gillette trimmer. And some need the closeness and comfort of a Gillette Intimate razor. While others need a Gillette Anti-Chafe Stick. Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get, down there. Buy now.
Two legends go into the Hall of Honor. This Sunday, the Panthers will honor wide receiver Muhsin Muhammad and pass rusher Julius Peppers when the Houston Texans come to town. Join me and Ish Shroff alongside Jake Delhomme, Luke Kuechly, and Sharon Thorsland. Our coverage on the Carolina Panthers radio network comes your way at noon Eastern. Kickoff follows at 1 p.m.
Panther football live all season long on News Radio 570 WWNC.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The Sportsocracy live here in the Ingalls studio. Don't forget the Asheville Championship is coming up. AshevilleChampionship.com for more information or for tickets. What is the Asheville Championship, you say? Well, it's only the first of the premier early college basketball season tournaments, as we have Clemson, Davidson, UAB, and Maryland all coming to the Harris-Cherokee Center, Asheville, to compete over 2 days, a Friday and Sunday, for the Asheville Championship, and it is proudly sponsored by Ingalls Markets. Again, you can go to AshevilleChampionship.com for tickets or details. November 10th and the 12th, Harris-Cherokee Center, Asheville. Get your tickets today. We had a lot of great responses in the YouTube chat about Hall of Fame. I love Hall of Fame discussions. I know you don't. I know you hate GOAT talk. But I like to see where everybody's mind goes immediately.
Well, I mean,
we didn't even mention George Kittle.
He's not even close to that discussion right now, to me.
In the Hall of Fame? Really?
No.
Wow.
No.
I mean, nobody's going to argue with Travis Kelce.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem.
But Kittle's got to be right there. No?
His name is worth mentioning, but am I betting my house on it? No.
Fred Warner. Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams would have been a good one.
Mm-hmm.
See, when you say GOAT talk, I just immediately think of Stevie Nicks. Now all I can hear is Lance.
Derrick Henry.
I don't get any more hate for anything I say than when I say that, and I hadn't said it in a while.
Wrong. Just emphatically wrong.
Ugh.
Stevie Nicks is awesome.
You got the first two letters right. You got the ending of the word wrong.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Roquan Smith. Chauncey Major says he needs to be in the discussion for Hall of Fame. It feels early to me for that.
Yeah.
But on the path, I guess. Satisfied Browns fan wants Nick Chubb. I'm not following you down that path.
I'm not betting on any running backs. Because there could be 20 years where we don't see a running back get in.
Joel Bitonio.
You're the second, third best guard of your own era.
Mm-hmm. D-Hop.
I would say he probably falls into that Reggie Wayne category of, hey, you'll get in. It's going to take quite a long time.
Mm-hmm. Michael Thomas.
You were hurt for 18 solid years.
You're going to have to wait a long time. I mean, if the backup right now can't get Torrey Holt in, then Michael Thomas will be elected in 2060.
A receiver is just going to be a nightmare to get in for probably the rest of our lives.
Mm-hmm. I completely agree with that. They were also asking, somebody asked for the Hall of Very Good. Who's at the top of the Hall of Very Good?
Eli Manning.
That's the most perfect answer you could
I
have
didn't
given.
see it, but it's the first name that came to my head.
So beautiful.
You take away 2 Super Bowls, and the best thing he ever did was host the Manning Cast with his brother. And God bless his soul for that. Frankly, a couple names on the door. I'm going to go on a little rant here.
Oh, goodness.
The Peyton Eli thing, we know that's not going to last forever. How's about we go ahead and book Travis and Jason Kelce to be their replacements like 3 or 4 years from now?
Okay.
Because I'm going to need this to keep happening. I can't watch games the same way anymore. I need Red Zone on Sunday. The last handful of weeks being at my house, I forgot how magical football Sunday was.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause it's one thing. I love being in a bar with other people, and that's great. I've been super out on peopling for the last about month because I did way too much of it over the summer and the last 2 months. But I need that Manning cast, and I really need it on like Thursday night and Sunday night and Monday night with 3 completely different sets of people.
Mm-hmm. So you want Manning brothers, Kelce brothers, Pat McAfee show?
In.
I'll be honest with you, man. I can't hang with the Pat McAfee broadcasts.
Oh, I can.
The Pat McAfee broadcast games.
If there's a Pat simulcast, you rest assured that's how I'm watching it.
I can't. I don't know why. It's just something about it.
And you know what we really need for the furtherance of life? An uncensored McAfee mullet simulcast.
Don't get me wrong.
They would have to play that on HBO after dark.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I can. I get why people like it, but I just can't bring myself to.
The hate people give Pat McAfee to me is confounding.
Well, I mean, he is super polarizing. I mean, he is you, right? I mean, you guys have a very similar effect on people. Either you love
very
it
close to
or
each other for an
you
extended period of time.
hate it, right? You either think Jeremy's stupid.
Oh, there's a lot of people that think that.
Or, you put up with the attitude. And I feel like that's where Pat is. People put up with the attitude and the quirkiness and the unprofessionalism, as the old heads in the business would call it.
Well, the unprofessionalism, that's just to me, that's a lazy, really dumb take.
Why?
Because you're adjusting to what the market bears out. All right, name me the consummate professional in this business.
Bob Costas.
Hey, where do you find him now?
Mm-hmm.
On Twitter?
Oh, I get it. I get that that's
Bob
not what's
Lee.
in demand, but it doesn't make it any, it doesn't make it any more less true, I guess.
No, it does, because this is a capitalistic market. If nobody's asking for it, then it's
just because it makes
Bob
money
Costas,
though doesn't make it professional, right? It doesn't make it.
Well, no, it's a changing of the industry.
A way of
I mean,
doing
look at it
business.
this way. 10 years ago, would the two of us have a branded show like this? No.
And I get it. What we do is a lot like what Pat does. I'm just saying I don't want it during a game. I love
do.
it for the show.
Oh, I do. I do. Mainly because I don't need there are certain things that when it comes to sports and sports talk and things like that I don't need. Okay? I don't need, and I swear I'm not picking on this guy. I'm really not. It's just the first name that came to my head.
Uh-huh.
Just because Greg Olsen played this game does not mean that I give even the tiniest rat's rear about what he thinks about the game in real time. Just doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very into the more modern things. There are certain things in our media that I just absolutely despise. The show of which one of us can yell at the other the loudest. I'm good. I'm good. That's what we built this show on, is we're going to throw out opinions. Some of you are going to think it's stupid. Then we're going to tell a joke, and then we'll run into each other at the bar later, and we'll have a couple domestic lights. And we'll laugh about how stupid that thing I said was, or whatever the case may be. I enjoy that. That's the reason we do this show the way we do this show.
Mm-hmm.
But, that's one of those things to me that the two-man broadcast booth, even Romo, who I think is really bright, I can't. I can't take you in but small doses.
Mm-hmm. I guess it's, again, one of those things. It's just it's just what I'm used to, right?
And see, I'm not one of those. To me, that's the same argument as when the computer came out. Well, I'm going to keep my typewriter because that's what I've always done. That's dumb, because one of them makes a lot of sense and the other makes none.
My favorite thing is tonight. Thursday Night Football's Prime Video gives us the StatCast, or the next gen.
That will be on every game.
The next gen stats
before long.
I just want that to be better. I don't know who that guy is that does the next gen stats thing on Prime, but they need somebody better than that.
I typically don't listen to that with sound on.
Okay, I get that. You're doing yourself a favor.
I put that in the picture-in-picture. I have a very large screen, so it's easy to take it's easy to take the Fire Stick down there and the Amazon Prime on the big screen. It's just Kirk Herbstreit. That's another good example.
Mm-hmm.
I love Kirk.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's probably the best analyst in the game. But there are times I hear him doing NFL games and I go, that didn't sound super informed.
Well, I mean,
I can't remember. I don't have the example off the top of my head. He has said a couple things over the course of the year where I'm like, that didn't sound like a guy that should be doing this.
Mm-hmm. I feel like he's in a tough position every night. Every night he goes out there to do that broadcast with Al Michaels. It's just like pulling teeth for me. Like Al has just been not good. Not good. Like this whole season and even like half of last year, I think it's time. I love Al. I've always loved Al.
Oh, I think
but
Al's what holds that together.
But no.
Herbstreit is, again, great analyst, but there's just times that you go, wait, what?
Yeah, no. I mean, did you hear? I mean, if you've been watching the big highlight moments of the night, Al's got nothing. He's just got no energy.
Well, he's
left.
80 years old.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, we got to figure out a way.
I guess that's where I'm at.
Where
all this came from was Pat McAfee putting out that he hasn't signed a new deal with College Game Day.
Mm-hmm.
For the furtherance of that show, get that done. Okay, because the Lee Corso thing has become uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And Lee knows that it's over. It's almost like he's giving the flowers to Kirk Herbstreit every week of being right there beside him.
Yep.
You take Pat off that, and I don't know what you have left. But it's new forms of media, and I'm here for it.
Yeah. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. When we come back, it'll be time for the most important message of the day.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Probably not records, but we're going to get close here. Today's record's 83. 76 this afternoon, not really close meteorologically, but lots of sunshine around. A few clouds tonight, low near 50. Sunshine tomorrow, 77. How about the weekend? The last weekend in October, more sunshine around. Great for outdoor activities with the highs close to 80 degrees. The change comes by about Halloween of next week. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Fall into a hiring spree with Indeed. Their end-to-end hiring solution makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates. Sponsor a job and instantly receive a short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
A wicked good time is waiting for you now inside the free iHeartRadio app. It's commercial-free Halloween radio. Plus dozens of other Halloween channels and playlists. Open the app and search Halloween. iHeartRadio. Free never sounded so good.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
The Asheville Championship returns to Harrah's Cherokee Center in Asheville November 10th and 12th. This year's field is the best yet. The Clemson Tigers, Maryland Terrapins, Davidson Wildcats, and the Blazers of UAB. 4 exciting matchups with a champion to be crowned at one of the premier early season tournaments in college basketball. For more information and to get your tickets, go to AshevilleChampionship.com. That's AshevilleChampionship.com. It all starts in Asheville November 10th and 12th. Proudly sponsored by Ingalls Markets.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need, and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch. Back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. The most important message of the day, as always,
don't do crimes.
And look, you know, you don't want to be doing illegal things in your life ever, right? Crimes are no good. You don't want to do that. The problem that you have, though, when you do a crime that gets a little bit of publicity, people start digging into your past to see if you've done other things. And I think that's how this guy got caught for his latest crimes. Jeremy, do you remember the story that we did of the 2 fishermen who rigged a fishing contest by putting weights in their fish?
Yes, I do.
Yes. 36-year-old Chase Kaminsky is now facing more charges. The Hermitage man, convicted of cheating in the fishing tournament, has now been accused of poaching deer in Pennsylvania. Apparently, they went back and I don't know how you look at past incidents of poaching, but they say that between 2013 and 2021, Kaminsky harvested several white-tailed deer out of season and without a valid license. Again, I have no idea how you go back and find out that a guy broke the law like this in 2013. But this has got to be connected, right? There's no other way they would have looked into this guy had he not already raised red flags with game wardens.
I'm just trying to figure out how you poach a deer without they don't have a yoke.
Oh, good for you.
You got to run it through the sieve. My story is about a Florida man who surprised his name is Thomas Muse. He's 23 years old, and he's receiving a lot of notoriety for his penmanship. He is a badman. He's a thieving badman. But he wrote a note. Went into a CVS store with a note that said, "This is an armed robbery," in very large, very well-written letters. "Please cooperate. I don't want to hurt you. You are not to alarm anybody, or I will shoot the closest person to me," with an exclamation point. "Please follow these directions, or I will shoot the closest person to me. Bag the following: all oxycodone, hydrocodone, Xanax, Adderall, liquid codeine, and Viagra." One of those things is not like the others. One of those things just doesn't belong. Then at the bottom, "When finished, place a note in the bag and lay down, or I will shoot."
Mm-hmm.
He did this at 2 CVS stores. He got a lot of recreational narcotics. Unfortunately, he's also not a very smart man. So he walked in with a mask, but he drove his own car, which very clearly had his license plate on the exterior camera of the CVS. Now, here is my question. I understand where you're selling all the codones and codeines. Got that.
Mm-hmm.
Understand there's a serious market for that. How exactly are you selling on the black market Viagra?
You don't think people are on the lookout for those?
I'm not saying they're not.
Okay.
I'm saying, how do you get in contact there? Like, I mean, I feel like you have to have some kind of network. I'm not notorious for doing crimes, so, I don't know where I would go to buy a Xanax. But I feel like if that's something that you do,
Mm-hmm.
then you have somebody that does it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever seen somebody on a street corner wearing a very oversized jacket that's, you need them pills? You need I got it.
No, it's not something you advertise. Right?
I mean, you can order them online. Joe Namath does commercials for it. You get them for like 48 cents a pill.
Yeah. Yeah, we run the commercials for forhims.com or whatever. Like, they have the same kind of stuff.
Look,
Like, there's a market for that. Of course there's a black market for that.
We live in a golden age for you to have a defective
Mm-hmm.
It's never been easier to correct than it is right now.
No doubt. But see, that's the problem with the oxycodone and the hydrocodone and the liquid and all of that. It's the gateway drug, right?
To Viagra?
Right. Because I mean, that puts you in. That's why they call marijuana the gateway drug, because it puts you in contact with the people selling the drugs.
No,
so here you're going for the Percocets, but you're like, hey, by the way, do you have something for my man part?
This is how I know you've been married for a real long time. The gateway to Viagra dealing. It's a dinner at the Olive Garden and dollar margs at the Applebee's. That's what leads to that.
Uh-huh. Okay. All right. Speaking from experience, there.
What do you got?
Just had to know, because anyway.
Hey, everybody dabbled in college. All right, everybody went. I'll smoke a little of the crimes.
Mm-hmm.
Take a little.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't make.
We're learning a lot about you in this segment. I'm just.
Well, here's the thing: you do anything you want to. It's not going to change certain parts. It's not going to be any more impressive with PEDs than it was before them. That's all I'm trying to tell you.
Uh-huh. No, that's a different kind of pill you got to take for that.
You know a guy?
Do what?
I said, you know a guy?
I did not.
That's the pill he should have been stealing.
I do not know.
Because there is a serious market for that.
If I did know a guy.
You would have already called said guy.
Probably would have used him by now.
This is where I want to do an uncensored joke, because there were no less than 7 jokes that I would have made right there that everybody else would have laughed at. And the FCC would have gone, no, you can't tell Tank the truth on air.
Right. I feel like we need to dive into the no, we're not going to do that. Never mind. I was going to say maybe it's time to talk about Dwight Howard and his issues, but we're not going to do that.
I'm good.
If you want to know more about that, you should Google it. Because that's one of those stories that only ends in us getting fired, despite the fact that the name's on the door. I think that one could lead us down that path.
Correct.
What are you most excited about this weekend?
Currently, a nap.
Really?
Oh,
Is it that bad?
I mean,
You
look.
having trouble sleeping at home?
Well, I mean, look. I'm cranking out a lot of reels here. We're all over the social medias. If I had $1 for every person that went, you are putting out a lot of stuff because we can't get away from you. That's the point.
That is the point.
That is the point.
Have you been passing out on the couch and just...
No, I'm officially at that, but and I think it's because of the diet switch and no more heaters and all that. I get to about 11 o'clock, and I have been exhausted since about 6.
Mm-hmm.
But then I hit 11, and I catch that second wind, which lasts till, I don't know, 2:30 in the morning. It's a vicious cycle. And this weekend's Halloween, so I got to do all the things.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys participate in the Halloween?
Of course we do.
I mean,
have you ever seen my wife? Of course she wants to put on a costume and go somewhere. If I looked like her, I would too.
I meant as far as like the trick-or-treating and stuff goes.
I mean, I don't go trick-or-treating. I feel like that's how you end up in the back of a squad car. At both my size and age, that's very much frowned upon.
Mm-hmm. 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 No, I wasn't talking about going trick-or-treating, dolt. I meant like handing out the candy at your house or anything like that.
No, we're dressed up in costumes at the Dollar Margs at the Applebee's. it's Dollarita
with all
time.
the wiener pills, apparently.
Yeah, hey,
those are where the stock is. You just show up for happy hour. That guy at the end of the bar, he's got your hookup. Everybody in khakis runs to. That's really why they're going to the Applebee's.
A lot of clientele in white New Balances that'll tell you how to grill a burger.
Mm-hmm.
No, we'll end up at some costume party where she'll look just smoking, and I'll look like Fat Man.
All right, now I have to ask the question.
For those of you that don't know, Fat Man is what happens when fat dudes like me wear one-piece Batman costumes.
Seeing as how we're at Thursday, do you have a plan for a costume?
I'm sure she does.
Oh, okay.
I haven't been informed of it yet, but I'm sure she does.
Is that usually how this goes?
100% it is. Last year I was Forrest Gump. You want to know when I found that out? About 8 minutes before I was Forrest Gump.
She comes back from the big orange tent, big old bag in her hand. Hey, what's that? Oh, this is your Halloween costume for this year.
Yep.
I'm not letting you choose again. The last time you did that, you dressed up as a woman. I'm not letting you do that again.
That was a weird day. It was a weird day. No, she has some plan. I have absolutely no idea what it is. And she may very well have told me.
That's more likely.
100%.
More likely the scenario. Oh, my goodness. I actually meant sports-wise this weekend.
Oh, what am I looking forward to in sports?
To?
Well, I mean, you got Florida State dog walking Wake Forest.
Mm-hmm.
The Jets dog walking the Giants.
Yeah.
This should be a good weekend for me, which means it probably won't be.
Right.
Means one of those two will let me down. This college slate's not very good. I mean, you get your game, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia, Florida, it's a rivalry. Maybe they can keep it competitive. If you get into the fourth quarter and it's still close.
Yep.
Other than that, there's not much in college. Oregon, Utah, but I've already told you exactly how I think that goes.
Mm-hmm.
Rest of the slate is horror awful. But now the NFL, on the other hand, it's got some. It's got a little more sizzle to it.
Got a little spice to it. Are you going to be able to recover from the fight on Saturday night? You've paid no attention to that, have you?
I don't care.
Really?
No.
Tyson Fury and Francis Ngannou?
I don't care.
Don't care. Wow.
So you got an MMA fighter that's going to come in and box the world heavyweight champion. You seriously don't know how that's going to go. It's just like Jake or Logan, whichever stupid Paul brother. No, I don't.
Are
care.
you at that level for this one as well?
Oh, it's very close.
You're at the celebrity boxing level for this fight?
Let me tell you exactly how that Ngannou Fury fight goes.
Yeah.
Francis Ngannou is going to come out swinging heavy hands for about 2 rounds. Then he's going to completely get gassed out and get his brains beat out. I'll wager that any way you want me to.
Mm-hmm.
I've read this book. I know how this ends. So, no, I have no interest in that.
No doubt. All right.
What I'm looking forward to, Jaguars-Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
I think that will be a formidable game. And it's not. Apparently the weather's not going to be as bad as I had originally been told. I heard there was going to be in that, it's not really the Midwest, but basically from Wisconsin down to about the Pennsylvania area, that you were going to have
the Rust
cold.
Belt. And now they call that the Rust Belt.
That you were going to have cold. Now it appears that the cold and the rain and precipitation is just going to be in Green Bay.
Okay. That is a decider game. It will be a decider game for me on Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh wins that game, then it'll be prove it time. The Jaguars still have enough that they can, do down the line. I'm still just off on Pittsburgh.
I think you're going to be.
Because it's the doubt of Kenny Pickett. Because you're gonna live in this little realm.
Well, I mean, I
don't
feel
think
like
you're gonna be
Pittsburgh,
2 games
we know
above
how it
500
ends.
for long.
Pittsburgh, we know how it ends.
Mm-hmm.
You finish 9-8, you just missed the playoff. That's the way this is going to go. Look at the schedule. It's virtually impossible for me for that not to be how this goes.
Right.
Even if they beat Jacksonville, you're 5-2. I said earlier this week, you're the worst 4-2 team I've ever seen in my life, and I'm not sure it's all that close.
Mm-hmm.
You have been insanely lucky against Baltimore and insanely lucky against the Rams.
Yep.
That luck tends to wear off.
I mean, where do you rank the where do you rank the Browns and the Seahawks game? Now that PJ Walker's playing quarterback, obviously it's not the primetime matchup, right, that it would be if it had Deshaun Watson.
That game will get exactly 20 minutes of my attention because it kicks off at 4:05 and Bengals 49ers kicks off at 4:25. So you got me for 20 minutes.
Right.
That's a defensive struggle. I will be a little curious to see how Geno Smith is against that defense because he hasn't put up a lot of points. He's still been accurate, and he hasn't turned it over a ton. But I need to at some point see you really pressing it down the field, really pressing it in the end zone.
Yep. Patrick Holt in the YouTube comment says he's looking forward to the Textile Bowl.
I still need somebody to tell me what a textile is.
You could Google it, right?
I could, but I don't care that much.
I feel like I should do that.
I already Googled what Louis the Lizard was because somebody said that in the YouTube comments, and I think I broke Google.
Do you? What, you couldn't find it?
No, now it's giving me children's cartoons. Not everything I search requires an extra search.
Textiles are what I told you yesterday they were. It's just cloth. It's all the mill towns and stuff. So they were mill towns. Like Raleigh had a big mill business. Upstate South Carolina had big mill business, and so it became the Textile Bowl between the two of them.
Woo!
Woo!
Yeah.
Clemson,
College football,
NC State football.
To me, this is a weekend that you hit the corn maze, you grab the pumpkins, whatever it is, you do that Saturday, so that you can be locked in for Sunday and 7 hours of commercial-free football.
And of course, the resurgence, or maybe just the surgence, of Sam Darnold.
The prophecy's being fulfilled. Bring it in. It's a cause we can all get behind. It's Sam Darnold time in San Francisco.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville on a Threadbare Thursday.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
At Ingles, we're proud to sponsor area athletics at all levels. Whether we're building new fields for T-ball, celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. We're here for the fans. No one gets the dedication to the home team like you guys. And we've got all the sports you can handle. It's all in the bag. Ingles, Low prices. Love the savings.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
I overheard Mom and Dad talking about St. Nick. They're working hard at their jobs, but with gas and food costing so much, they don't know how they can afford Christmas. I just hope St. Nick is able to come.
Motorcyclists throughout Western North Carolina prepare to rev up the Christmas spirit by raising new toys and money as they kick off the Christmas season for Evelyn Charity's St. Nicholas Project. Mark your calendars for Saturday, November 4th, when the Smoky Mountain Toy Run celebrates their 43rd year, riding from Kierfot Plants on US 70 in Black Mountain to City County Plaza in downtown Asheville. These leather-clad elves hope you'll join them either by riding or making a monetary contribution so that every child can have a Merry Christmas. And don't forget, Santa and Mrs. Claus, they're also riding. We ride for the kids. For more information, check out SmokyMountainToyRun.com. Sponsored by the fine folks at Reinhardt Racing, Gentle Family Dentistry, Capstone Health Alliance, Iron Horse Motorcycle Lawyers, and Allen's Jewelry and Pawn. The Smoky Mountain Toy Run at SmokyMountainToyRun.com.
If you or a loved one have been a victim of crime, the North Carolina Department of Public Safety Office of Victim Compensation Services provides programs to help you find peace of mind. We are here to help you apply for benefits that you may qualify for to recover from hardships such as lost wages and medical expenses. To learn more, visit ncdps.gov/4victims. That's ncdps.gov/4 VICTIMS.
Jim Gaffigan here with some more Straight Talk. Now you can get a Walmart Plus membership, plus not pay for it, because it's included with Straight Talk wireless plans. You get free delivery with Walmart Plus a Paramount Plus subscription included. Plus, you pay less for gas. That's a lot of pluses.
Only Straight Talk gives you unlimited 5G data and Walmart Plus included on select plans for free.
Straight Talk Wireless, available at Walmart.
Requires service on Gold or Platinum Unlimited. One offer per eligible account. Paramount Plus Essential Plan only. Separate registration required. Additional terms apply.
Dirty Turkish shark back flat. I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore. Shark back flat.
Let the hate flow through you.
It's an unprovoked I'm mad. This Michigan sign stealing issue. You know what really makes me angry about this? It's not that Michigan did it. It's how easy it is to get away from. You do realize that the NCAA doesn't have the transmitter in the helmet that allows the coordinator to talk to the quarterback or the coordinator to talk to the linebacker. But do you know why? Do you know why they don't have that?
Why?
Because they're afraid that will void the warranty of the helmet. It doesn't in the XFL, it didn't in the USFL, and it doesn't in the NFL. That is a lame cop-out from a bunch of people that make a lot of money but don't want to spend it. It is incredibly stupid. It has always been stupid, and it will continue to be stupid until you pony up the money to put in technology that's been in use for over a decade. This is another example of the NCAA being the most clueless institution by 10 miles in all of sports, and that includes Major League Baseball. I'm mad.
Connor Stallions. Cool name. Problem is, I think he's going to be infamous from now on for the cheating scandal here. I still find this fascinating that this guy was going out and buying tickets to games at other stadiums and was sending people in his stead to go and record the defensive signals of other teams, thinking that he wasn't going to get caught, I guess.
I don't think he cared. He was booking the tickets in his own name. I mean, you're either the dumbest criminal in the history of time or you didn't care about getting caught.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, this is one of those problems. It's so easy to fix, and you'll never have this problem again because it is impossible to steal signals if you're radioing them into the helmet.
No doubt.
And then we don't have to have these goofy signs on the sideline with Kelsey Grammer, a box of Top Ramen, the Oregon Duck, and a shoelace. Oh, I wonder what that means. I don't care.
Right.
Just call the play into the quarterback and let's go.
I mean, the technology exists. So why would you not make this available? And I get the warranty thing, and I'm with you.
That's their lame excuse.
That's a complete cop-out. We don't need microphones in every helmet.
No, you need them in the quarterbacks, you need them in the linebackers, and then the backups just in case they have to go out of the game.
Yes.
And that fixes this entire problem.
Mm-hmm. What did they really gain from it, though? Did it matter? That's the other thing. Did you think you weren't going to be able to win these games? Did you think you weren't going to be able to beat Indiana without stealing their signs? I just don't get the purpose of that. What do you think? You think Jim had a hand in this?
Oh, absolutely. There's no way you had somebody doing this. That's what I said from the beginning. There's no way that this wasn't being comped somehow through the athletic department. Mm-hmm. And there's no way Jim Harbaugh didn't know.
No. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. We'll be back with you tomorrow right here on 92.9 and on the YouTubes at noon.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville. Probably not records, but we're going to get close here. Today's record's 83. 76 this afternoon, not really close meteorologically, but lots of sunshine around. A few clouds tonight, low near 50. Sunshine tomorrow, 77. How about the weekend? The last weekend in October, more sunshine around. Great for outdoor activities with the highs close to 80 degrees. The change comes by about Halloween of next week. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic.
The annoying runny nose, the constant sneezing, the itchiness, and battle just to catch your breath. If you suffer from seasonal allergies, sinusitis, or nagging sinus congestion, there's a natural, easy-to-use solution that can help provide fast, drug-free relief. It's called Navage, and it uses powered suction to rinse your nasal passages in seconds. Millions of people use Navage daily to help provide relief from seasonal allergies and sinus congestion. Medications treat the symptoms, but Navage treats the problem at the source, flushing out the allergens and pollen trapped in your nose. Navage also helps wash out airborne bacteria, dust, dirt, and viruses quickly and painlessly so you can get back to breathing clearly again. Say goodbye to sinus suffering and hello to better breathing with Navage. Navage is available at Walmart, Walgreens, Target, CVS, Rite Aid, and online at Navage.com. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
Some intimate parts need the gentle, easy trim of a Gillette trimmer. And some need the closeness and comfort of a Gillette Intimate Razor. While others need a Gillette Anti-Chafe Stick. Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get, down there. Buy now.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.